Well, gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
No
We're
problem.
about to talk about, your record store and International Record Store Day. So you own TNT Records in Barrow. So
Yeah.
how long have you had that?
We've been open 9 weeks now.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
right.
22nd of December.
Because it was Carl Steele approached me.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've had him in it before, and he's hooked me up with other guests before, and he said, well, it must be going pretty well then.
Yeah, very well. Yeah, thank you. Opened the doors and it's just exploded since day one. We thought it'd be like a gradual incline of business, you know, maybe quite popular in the town, you know, amongst music lovers and whatnot. Within 3 days, over 600 records have been sold.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your top seller? What do you sell the most of? Is it vinyl? Is it vinyl?
Yeah,
We only sell vinyl. We don't sell CDs or anything.
Oh, do you not?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
We made a conscious decision right at the start that we weren't going to do CDs. It was just vinyl.
Well,
We do
because vinyl's never
merchandise.
gone away, but CDs are always going to go down, and I think they probably will eventually disappear. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting story if you look into it. Sort of like how CDs came into, because it cost record companies pennies to make and duplicate, whereas vinyl it takes the process is longer and it's a lot more money. So
it is, but you can't reproduce that sound.
no,
There's nothing
Not at all.
there's nothing.
not at all.
Digital can't compete with it. But so 9 weeks then, it's like brand new really.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So there's a bit of a buzz then.
Massive.
Yeah.
Lots of people coming.
Yeah.
What's
From
it-
afar as well, travelling people.
Yeah.
A lot of people travelling. Yeah.
Well, because there's not that many records.
Yeah, it's true.
So where do you source your records from? Where do you start with that?
We've got a number of distributors. We started off with like 3 or 4 different ones to get the brand new reissues in pretty fast, and all the sort of new releases and stuff the day of release. And we, over a space of about 2 to 3 weeks, we started taking on more distributions, underground punk, underground dance, loads of different stuff from abroad, international.
Well, I was looking at your posts, and every other day it was like another delivery of 500 of these, and we got this, we got that. I was like, bloody hell!
I think we thought everybody was like us. So when me and our Dave have like been music lovers since we were kids. So when we used to go to like record fairs and vinyl shops, we'd try and find like old ones that had like character and been used, and it's like got a bit of a tear in the corner. So we had like 20,000 used records that we'd been collecting over.
Or ones that
sort of
say
like,
import or something like that.
yeah,
It's
like white labels,
Yeah.
and
Seen
stuff like that.
20,000 records.
Yeah.
I can't say I have.
Yeah, it's a lot. His house
a
is
lot.
just a record. But yeah, we had sort of like 25 sort of like wooden bins full of used records in alphabetical order, and we thought, well, we better get some new in, maybe for the kids. Get
Bit of
some,
everything.
Yeah. So we literally had 250, didn't we, from the day we opened, and when we opened our doors on Sunday morning, we had 3 left.
Wow.
So then we had to sort of like say, right, we might need to review this. So over the sort of like next, it was difficult because Christmas Day, it sort of like we opened the Saturday before Christmas Day. So
What a time to open.
yeah. So when Christmas Day hit, that whole week, it was just like people were coming in to buy stuff, and we didn't have any new records. It was like all old records.
All
so,
your collection going.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So sort of
Wow.
like come January, we had to sort of like sort of work really hard to find who does what, when, how to do it.
It's a really fast learning curve.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It was quite fast. But I was just saying to somebody the other day, wasn't I, that everybody that we've dealt with, like from a distributor to a label to record store day to anybody that we've dealt with for the shop, has been like dead sound. So my other business is in retail, but it's a bit more sort of like cutthroat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, you know
Bit
what
more
I mean?
the mainstream type
Yeah,
stuff.
and it seems that everyone that we speak to, from distributors upwards, everyone just loves vinyl and loves music. So it's like,
Yeah.
all right,
I think they just love the fact
that
that there's people still doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like HMV. I mean, it's been saved, but there's 100 stores left. They'll go. They'll go eventually.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
They do everything, don't they? Like they don't focus on one thing, and they're online as well.
Yeah.
So how many people are going in? Plus, I don't know, their prices aren't always that good. I find. And the good thing is like when you find the older stuff and the stuff that's like on sale. But as far in terms of like new music and like imports, they don't really do that much any of that anymore, do they?
No, and
They're more about like TV shows and DVDs and Blu-rays and movies now, as far as
I think
music anymore.
that's where they've maybe gone wrong, maybe in
The
the.
music section's always in the corner, like a little
Yeah.
tiny bit.
the labels and the distributors are looking after the independent record stores by Record Store Day.
Yeah.
But like we've been getting new releases. So one of the first new releases we had in January was Ian Brown Ripples,
Right.
and 1,000 copies were done in white, and it just went to independent labels.
That's awesome.
So we've had like we have new releases every week.
Yeah.
Gary Newman had just been I Assassin was released 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, reissue.
And that independent store's got a limited edition green vinyl. If you were in HMV, you wouldn't get that.
That's
If you were at like
I love stuff like that.
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
it's
You wouldn't think
brilliant.
they would even bother doing that anymore, do
No,
you?
but
It
they-
shows you that there's obviously enough people doing it out there to make
yeah.
it.
They look after the independents. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like you think they'd look after more like the bigger people than they would the little one, but they're not. They give the independents these. That's why Record Store Day. If you've got more than 2 shops, your class is a chain. You can't be on it.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
If you've got 3
loads-
shops, you're not on it.
There's a lot
Wow.
of boxes to tick to be accepted for
I
Record
suppose-
Store Day.
That's not independent then, I suppose, is it? If you've got like if you're a part of a chain,
Yeah.
that's you learn something every day. But that's good though. I think that's a good idea because I know everyone would do it. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be as a special because you see some like record stores they get bands in like play.
Yeah.
What you got planned for it?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of entertainment on planned for the day. We open at 8 in the morning.
Right.
We're open right up till 9 o'clock at night.
Cool.
We've got different bands on through the day, different acts. We've got DJs on, refreshments,
Brilliant.
balloons going up. You know, we're making a really bit of a party out of it. Like, yeah.
So it's TNT Records and it's in Barrow-In-Furness for those who don't know. So what have you got planned like after going forward then? Because you're brand new, or you're learning as you're going. Have you got plans to? Have you thought how far ahead are you going to sort of do certain things or?
Yeah, I mean, we had a plan before we opened, and to be fair, after the first sort of like 4 days, the plan got chucked in the bin because like things happened, and it was just like
You just got to adapt to your
right,
situation, haven't you, I suppose?
Yeah, and it's been a massive learning curve for us. We thought, like Dave said before, it'd be a nice little steady incline of business. You know, we'd get a year out of it, start making a profit, start getting our name out there, and
Yeah.
it was like the day we opened, there was like 25, 30 people waiting to come in, and it was like, how was it people even know about it? Just and it's not so much a little shop either. So we've been me and Dave used to be in a band. We used to travel and tour the UK and Europe and stuff. One of the first things we used to try and find was a vinyl shop, and it's very underground.
How long ago was that?
When we released an album in 2002. No, we didn't. 2012, sorry. And that's still. You can still buy that now. We played for about 7 or 8 years, like building it up and stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we toured Europe and the UK and stuff
I
like
suppose even 2012, the record store sort of business was a bit better than it is now. There was a few more. Like, who was your competition when you were? Did you do research? Where's the nearest other independent record store to you?
that. Preston. In fact, a
that's
shop
quite a
did
journey.
actually open a week before us in Kendal.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's not far from you.
No, it's very small. They've not got as much stock as us. I have seen some pictures and it looks class, to be fair. And I've known some people that have gone up there and said the lad's really nice lad.
The one in Kendal.
Yeah. I think it's called is it 113? 113 Records, I think.
Okay. Right.
Our store is it's
You've
more
got
like
a big venue, big premises.
yeah. So it's more like main road, shop front, big windows.
right, yeah.
Whereas a lot of the vinyl shops are sort of like vinyl shop come downstairs sort of
Or
thing,
go
you know,
upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Ours is more. It's just based around vinyl. So when you walk past, you can't. You know we sell vinyl. That's pretty much it. Like
We have 3 floors that are in.
All right. So
Yeah.
you do like drum lessons and you got
Yeah.
like band rehearsal space
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
right. Yeah, every
That's
night of
cool.
the week's booked out since we announced it.
That's good.
Locally, there's not many places for bands to rehearse.
And usually the ones that are way too expensive.
Yeah, we provide all the equipment.
Oh,
you know,
well, there you go.
the bands are really love it. We're really respectful of the premises, and bands are coming in there to sort of do album launch parties, and they're
All
sort
right.
of booking in late April, June to release CDs and have their own little private parties.
Wow.
And yeah,
That's
it's the shop's like it's got like a retro feel, but yeah, it's got
Yeah,
that,
I got that from the
got that
picture,
modern,
but I like
sort of-
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to be a futuristic sort of image. Wouldn't go with what you do.
yeah, no,
Would
we,
it?
we took all the plasterboard off the wall. There was a hole of where someone had worked in there beforehand, and it was just cool brick.
Right.
Like red brick, so we just ripped it all off, and it was like, oh, cool. So
Brick,
we got it all
perfect.
sandblasted. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't go wrong with brick.
We got
can you?
somebody in to sandblast it all. and
I think
just
it's the
like,
sound
yeah.
as well. Like
Yeah.
just conversation and the
We've
general
had
noise.
people coming in, touching the walls.
Yeah. Is it wallpaper? It's like, oh no, it's proper brick, that.
I suppose some people do that. They have wallpaper that looks like brick, I suppose, yeah. You can't beat real brick.
No.
Yeah.
Touch the walls.
The acoustics in there are absolutely brilliant. We've
Yeah,
got a listening room, sorry.
I know.
Got
That
a
like I
listening
used to do
room,
that back
yeah.
in the day. You go in and just like pick some albums out and just go and put them on, listen to them before you
Yeah.
decide I want to buy them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like I miss those days.
Goes down well.
You'd be
listening.
surprised what the biggest sellers are as well. It's like it's weird sometimes.
It was a surprise to yourself, I suppose, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you
it's-
wouldn't have predicted it.
No. So like, the age demographic of who comes in is varied and it's wide, but we're getting a lot of sort of like under 20s coming in and buying.
I was going to ask about that because like it's the younger people who are probably the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
disconnected from that kind of
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Like, they're all like everything's on your iTunes, just individual songs. They don't
Yeah.
even know what an album
Yeah.
is, really.
But they don't buy new records. They don't buy new sealed records. They buy old used records like what we did.
That's interesting.
And the biggest seller,
Got
the
one
biggest seller
Go on.
out of all of them, yeah, for the under 20s, no word of a lie, is the Carpenters. And like
Oh
the
my
first
God.
couple of times, I was like, "Are you getting this for your mum?" And they were like, "No, I'm getting it for myself." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." It's like, and I couldn't get my head round how this like 16-year-old
Carpenters.
like group of lasses was buying the Carpenters, and then they're going in the listening room and then sticking it on, and it's all like Mr. Postman coming out of it. They're all dancing and chilling out like that, and I'm like,
That's really encouraging. I,
What's
love,
going
I
on?
like to hear stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
you would imagine people that age would like,
yeah,
you have to physically do something with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the best genre selling music, would you say, overall?
Probably have to be rock,
Yeah.
or alternative sort of easy listening, as well. The rock genre itself covers a lot of.
I suppose it's a
Doesn't
huge
it? Yeah.
umbrella with all the different genres,
Yeah,
subgenres
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah. It's
There's
each,
many that we sell week in, week out, isn't there? Yeah.
each sort of like music bracket buy differently. So
Right.
like your indie bracket, so like your Stone Roses, your Oasis, they'll buy like 2 or 3 records at a time. Your rock guys will come in every single week on the same day and buy 1 record every week. And then you've
That's
got
more of an old school kind of thing, isn't it?
yeah. And then you've got like your dance and electronic that'll sit there and go through 500 records and buy 25 of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like they'll be there for like 6 hours, can use a listening room, and then it's like piles and piles, and they'll take them out of the boxes and take them in. You can hear them listening to them, and then they'll come with 25, and it's like
Yeah.
it's
In
weird.
this day and age, for most people, like, I wish I had the time to do that.
Yeah.
Like if I was going in, I'm like, I've not got long, but
People
I want
spend
something.
hours in there, Mark.
It's brilliant.
I've just come from the shop today, and a guy just left at about 5 o'clock. He's been in there since 2:30.
Jeez.
Couple of cups of tea.
It's because there's nowhere else to do it.
Yeah.
No.
So they're coming across it and they want to make the most of it, I guess.
Yeah, he's
That's
trying
just-
every track, all the white labels,
That's brilliant.
Sometimes they're not printed, and then he goes into the metal section and buys
So is
a metal.
the listening room's like somewhere separate where it doesn't matter what they listen to, you can't hear it. If you've got other music playing across the store,
Yeah,
generally.
yeah. So it's like a boxed room inside,
Right.
but it's not like in Barrow years ago. There was an old sort of like vinyl music shop. It did like musical instruments and vinyl, and you'd literally walk.
I remember that.
You'd walk called Kelly's. You'd walk in. You'd have some headphones, and then they'd put the record on, and you'd be in a little box, and you'd just listen. And if you looked like that, you'd probably like you'd knock your nose on the wall. Whereas we wanted to make it a bit more of an experience, so we've got
Yeah.
a double settee in there, reclining chair. You
That's
can
what
use
you want.
headphones,
That is what you want.
speakers.
Yeah.
It's totally soundproof.
I remember Andy's Records.
Yeah.
in the centre of Barrow. I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was like, that must have started off as a fairly independent sort of thing, because that was the last. Because it was a chain. There was a few of them. I remember.
Yeah, it
coming
was-
across a few others.
It was like an HMV, but it's
Bit.
solely just based on
Yeah.
sort of like the records.
Just it was mainly just music, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I
remember-
applied. I
easy.
applied for a job when I was at university at Andy's Records, and you had to like write in the application, write down the top 10 albums, and then the reason why, and then it'd be like number 1, and then it'd be like a full page of like lines.
What
and
your
then-
top 10 albums?
Yeah, and then the next page would be number 2, and I'm like going. Pearl Jam because it's awesome, and then I go, and he wanted me, and he wanted me to write some more. Anyway, I did get the job, and I was like, "But I love music. I'm doing a degree in music. Why can I not have a job?" It's like what?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't even know what they're on about, do they?
yeah, no.
That's weird. Like, I wonder what you have to do to get a job in HMV these days.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have to know much, or is it just classed as just a job? Because you're gonna get in a music store, you're gonna get asked a lot of questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause people are not just where is something, but like
Yeah.
what is this, or what do you recommend, or what do you know about this, or
You've got to tap into your
you got to know what's coming out.
every day. When people come in, you got to respect every genre of music they're into.
Yeah.
Really passionate about that certain band or artist,
Yeah.
and you've got to respect that. And it's
Personal lemon, innit?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
And what it is more of an experience and sort of a sale when you come to TNT Records. You know, we talk about like what's coming out, like you know, like you say.
How do you keep on top of what's coming out? Where does that come from? Is there somewhere online that you go to keep check on it, or?
Well, our distributors are pretty handy, so they sort of like give us 6 weeks' notice of what's coming out, so we can
Just
put
gives
an
us a heads
order
up.
in. Get, you know, this is what's being released. Sort of
So
6
do you
weeks in
hand pick?
advance.
Or we'll get a bulk of that in,
Yeah,
or
pretty
do
much.
you try and get a bit of everything?
We do try and get a bit of everything, don't we? Yeah. But we also go off what the customers want.
Yeah,
What you've
Customers
already
will come
sold.
in and ask.
Yeah.
Try and,
And
like,
but they'll
repeat
ask
business.
as well. So customers will come in. There's a John Lennon album coming out, the Wedding album that's coming out on Friday. John and Yoko, it's like a re-release, but it's like a
50th
special edition. So we've had people coming in, getting John and Yoko in, and we can just look at our list and just say, oh yeah, we can get that. Beauty about the distributors is they'll send us it 2 days beforehand. So we know what stock we've got. If we want 20, but
plus you can have a listen.
if we get 20 and they only send us 5, then we can say, right, well, we've only got 5 if you leave your deposit or whatnot.
Yeah.
So we do listen to our customers, because even though we've got quite a varied knowledge of musical styles and different bands and different years, he's 7 years younger than me, so I'm a little bit older. There's still, even with 35,000 records in our shop, we're still literally just scratching the surface of what you can actually get.
How many?
About 35,000, about 35,000.
Bloody hell!
Vinyl records, yeah.
But that makes total sense, and I think you've done right not doing anything else but vinyl.
Yeah.
Because CDs are they're just like, I don't think anyone buys them anymore.
Yeah.
A band sell them at gigs, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Our distributors still do CDs, so when people come in and ask and say, oh, you know, we don't have a vinyl player, but can you get this on CD? We'll just stick it on our list and get it in for them.
Yeah.
But we
So
don't actually...
So if someone asks for it, you can get it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good
Yeah.
option to have, isn't it?
But we won't stock him anywhere.
No.
We've literally just about to bring out a new display in the next couple of weeks of tapes, believe it or not.
I keep hearing about this.
Yeah.
There's a few bands that have had recent releases where they've done a limited run of cassette tapes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's right.
Who has a player?
Yeah.
If someone brought out a VHS or something, I wouldn't know how to play it. I'd be like, where the hell where do I go?
Well, most albums that are being released come on tape now. So you've got CD, vinyl and tape.
But the tape thing just seems like a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
Like vinyl's not, because there's a very specific sound that you can't argue with, you can't knock it, and you can't replicate it. But tapes, they're a bit fiddly, and the sound was never that great. I always thought, like, I loved the transition from tape to CD.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
People just wanted to experience the tape malfunctioning.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Nostalgia.
Like,
Look at all this tape.
you listen to a song and the tape just starts coming out the machine. I'm like, fuck's sake! Or putting a pencil in the thing and trying to turn it around. Or I had a Sony Walkman where it didn't have a rewind, so you had to fast forward one side to rewind the other side, and then turn it over. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Quality.
Mine didn't fast forward or rewind, so I had to keep playing it. And if I I hate this song, I've taken it out. Get my pen. There you go, stick it in.
How old are you?
Don't want to say. I'm on video. 41.
41. I'm 38, so.
41.
But yeah, those were the days, weren't they? Fucking
Yeah.
and copying tapes to tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I even remember, I don't know why, copying you could play a CD and copy it to tape. I was trying to see if the quality would be better because it's come from CD, but it wasn't.
Well,
The tapes were shit.
CDs were expensive when they first came out.
Yeah, they were. They
so the way that it was priced, when I used to go on, I used to go on Andy's Records, Woolworths, and buy my records.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
It'd be like $6.99 for the tape if an album came out. It'd be $9.99 for the vinyl, and it'd be $15.99 for the CD.
Yeah.
Now, if an album comes out, it's $6.99 for the CD. It's still sort of like $9, $10.99 for the album.
Yeah, the price hasn't gone down, even though no one's fucking buying it.
Yeah.
But the tape is $16.99.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's totally flipped on its head.
The tapes must be quite expensive to go back and have to redo, I would imagine, then, for them, if the prices is quite high.
I don't know. We've got some tapes in that we've sort of like we've had, haven't we? And we've sort of like played them once. So we were avid collectors. So my sort of like, I'm a grunge kid from sort of like 12 years old. So Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, all that sort of stuff. Cool. Like it. So when I went and buy an album, I'd save up not just to buy the vinyl, but I'd buy the tape and the CD as well, if I could.
Yeah, they used to,
So I'd buy all
do
three.
that. They used to come out together. I
Yeah.
remember they used to come CD.
They'd
and
all be together,
Digipackage thing with the tape. When tape was on the way out, you used to package them together, I think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes on the CD you'd get bonus tracks.
Yeah, you would.
Because you can get
There's
more
no room on
on
the tape, is
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, and I'd sort of like So some of the tapes that we've got, some of them haven't even been played. And people have been saying, "Oh, are you getting tapes in now?" There's a new thing that's come out sort of like 6 months ago where it's just a little tape player, like a Sony Walkman that we used to have when we were kids, doing my paper round and stuff, with my big headphones on, and Pappy's have gone, "No way!" But it's got a USB slot, so you can put in a USB stick, play the tape, press a button, and it'll put the tape onto a MP3. So then you can sort of like listen to it that way.
See what I bet there is like younger kids just want to know what it was like, and what it sounded like, which probably with vinyl as well, because obviously people will tell them who love vinyl, say you've got to try vinyl, because it's just like,
we've had a lot of parents come in, and it's been the first experience for the kids.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so they're coming in and saying, "See, kids, look, kids, this is a record shop."
In the olden days,
and they're like, "Dad, that CD's massive." and all I can think of in my head is then that kid trying to put that record in the car CD player. It's too big, Dad.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But it's brilliant.
That's
it's brilliant.
It's funny when the parent tries to force their love of music on the kid, and they're looking through and they're going, "Oh, Oasis, you don't want that. Metallica's there. This is what we want. I don't like Metallica. Right, Pink Floyd. We'll start you with Pink Floyd. Right, all right then."
That would be good if you had a kid and it was like just discovering vinyl and it was just at home.
Honestly,
like we used to do, just with headphones on, listening to an album in full.
Yeah.
I didn't really tapes were on when I was about 10 or 11, so like early 90s. Tapes were definitely pretty much gone then. It was all about CDs.
Yeah.
So other than when I had my Walkman, but I don't remember actually buying tapes. I only remember buying CDs with like when I was old enough to buy it with my own money.
Yeah.
But tapes, I don't know. I was very glad when CDs came out.
I think my first purchase was a tape, Crowded House.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think, and then my next,
Woodface.
Yeah, Woodface.
But
I helped him pick it.
I remember I was a bit gutted that vinyl was getting a bit shafted at first. Everyone that went out with tape pretty much at the same time, but there was always a hardcore of people who just still listen to vinyl because of the sound, and it's never really gone away, has it?
No. Lucky for us, because we opened a vinyl record shop. But
you wouldn't have if it wasn't viable, would you?
No. And we haven't done it just because it's coming back in. We've done it because we love it.
Yeah.
If we'd have opened the shop, and no one had bought anything, we'd be gutted. But there's still people that come in, even that young people now, and it's like you're looking at 14, 15-year-olds that are like going in the listening room and dancing MC Hammer and all sorts.
They'd be the ones that I would most like to talk with about what's their motivation, what's brought them here.
Why are you buying a Carpenter's? Oh, I just like them, right?
I'd be like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Where's this come from? So it's good to know they're not just ignoring it all.
Yeah.
It never went away. It was always there, and there was always people that wanted it, but the record industry could see we're looking at a future that made their overheads less.
Yeah, that's
so when
true.
you look at a CD that takes pennies to make one and duplicate for pennies, it's a lot more to build, to make the plates, to make the vinyl, and to make the vinyl and everything. And then when digital came in, it was like, well, we now don't even have to do CDs.
Yeah, and they kept the tax on the digital as well for years. It was only like a few years ago when the government overturned that.
I saw one of your posts, Mark, on Instagram about the While She Sleeps.
No
one buys
music.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it like
music.
It's true, but sort of untrue as well. Do you know what I mean?
They were just making a point, really, weren't they?
Yeah, of course. But what a great sort of statement that
I mean, how much London Underground? How much would that have cost to put that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're quite a big band and they're doing well, so they're kind of like they've got the money, so they can do it. But it's just to prove a point, and I think it's hit home because I looked at their retweets and it was in the millions. So
well, we released our album. We had, I think there was 10,000 CDs. I think most of them were sold, but most buyers bought it digitally, and we made more money digitally from the record label than what we did from the physical copy.
Yeah, because back then it was like they could buy it on iTunes.
Yeah.
And it was still like $7.99, so that's still a good chunk of money for your purchase. But now it's like I don't even know that if you can. Do you still buy? It's usually just a streaming Apple.
No, you can buy the track, or you can have the subscription.
I think that's what I was reading. I think most people have switched over to the subscription like Spotify, where you just click play. You're already paying your monthly thing.
I don't think that'll ever go, Mark, because of you can put it in the car, you can sort of walk, you on the move with it. You'll always have.
Yeah, well, things like Spotify. Well, I use Spotify all the time.
Yeah.
but it's like the convenience.
Definitely.
It's kind of hard to argue with the convenience.
Of
But I mean,
course,
how do you guys listen to most of your music these days? Obviously, in the
Vinyl.
store, vinyl, but even at
Vinyl.
home as well.
Well,
Or what about when you're on the go? Like, obviously, just do something on your phone, or
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, there's no better sound than listening to what I love musically on a vinyl
yeah,
record.
I'd have to agree with that.
Regardless of colour, people
Yeah.
say that black's better than colour and picture disc and all this. To me, it doesn't matter. It's
No.
vinyl. It sounds right. I love it. I can close my eyes and I can feel like I'm literally watching them perform.
There's like a
Yeah.
warmth,
Yeah.
sound
Oh,
that you
definitely.
can't.
Yeah.
It's analog.
Yeah.
However, in analog in sound, it's
Yeah.
like it's hard to describe. But
Those and ones.
yeah, you can't really. There's nothing like it, is there?
No, but if I go out and I'm walking the dog, then for the convenience, I've got iTunes and Spotify on my phone. I can put my
Yeah.
headphones in. I can listen to what I want. If I'm in the car, my phone automatically connects to my car. I can still listen to what I
Yeah,
want.
I do that as well. It's
It's-
brilliant. It's brilliant.
I like them both. To be
but
fair, I
newer
like the
cars
combination.
now don't have CD players.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
So they've got Bluetooth built in, or you've got the jack thing. So that
Auxiliary
tells you
port,
the way that side. So as that carries on, that's less. Well, most people listen to the CDs in the car. So if that's going to go down, then whereas people are not going to need CDs. I mean, I don't think many people listen to CDs at home much anymore, do they?
I think CD's still there. It's just dying.
It's going.
And
it's
this
just
is what-
steadily going to go down. I
Yeah,
think.
and this is what happened to vinyl. Sort of like,
Yeah.
your 15 years ago was people buying CDs and vinyl was dropping off.
But it never went down too far.
Too
Just
far,
for
no.
convenience.
Because there was always people like
So,
us. Well, I
yeah.
mean, I'm guilty of like pretty much forgetting about vinyl until a few years ago when I was like, I can't remember what I got. Something came with a vinyl. I bought some album and it came with a limited edition vinyl thing. So then my old record player didn't support the format, so I bought a new one anyway. But so then I've added a few more collections. But that's what I really need to get onto. But yeah, like CDs are gone. Like I've said this numerous times on this show. But like at a gig, I'd buy a CD of a band, but just to support them,
Yeah.
not to listen to the CD because I listen to. I've already listened to them on
Yeah.
Spotify,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I know that money's going to go directly to them.
Of course.
So I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
not
if
better
I-
than listening to for me a vinyl record and looking at the sleeve.
Yeah,
And
well,
just
yeah,
sat there
yeah.
while I'm listening
Yeah.
because one of the things that one of the first CDs I ever bought was Dookie, and it was a Green Day
1994.
Dookie. And
Yeah, that was one of mine.
it was an American import, and it was before they actually got quite big, actually. And I loved the cover, the cartoon cover.
There's so much going on in there. Little
But when you-
differences that you look at.
But when you see it on vinyl,
Oh, vinyl's massive, isn't it?
it's massive, and you
Yeah.
go, well, I
Not
never saw
believe.
that.
You
happening.
can't,
I
you
didn't- I
can't
don't
see it on
remember
a
that.
CD.
I didn't
You
know.
can't. I wonder if artists had to think about that then.
Flicking through the little books and try to look at the
Yeah.
lyrics. And
I much prefer to be able to read the lyrics and
Yeah.
where was this album recorded, who produced it, read the like on the vinyl, the liner notes. You used to have
Yeah.
page, you pull out things as
Yeah.
vinyl. That all went when CDs came in. Everything was like condensed. You had to get a fucking magnifying glass out to it. I don't know. Well, you get like people like over 50 going.
Yeah.
No idea.
my dad.
yeah.
Our dad.
Seems to be an age thing that when it comes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as you start going, that's it. You're over the hill. But so, like, did you go through a phase of like CDs, tapes? Which was the predominant one that you used to listen to when you were growing up? Was it vinyl from always, or
Bit of everything.
for me it was always CDs?
Yeah, a bit of everything. When I was growing up personally, in the 80s, it was tapes all throughout, in the tapes in the car, tapes at home.
Tapes in the car.
I remember my dad getting like a really big Technic system, spent like over £1,000 on
They
it.
were massive, weren't they?
Oh, in the late 80s, big Jamo speakers, and he had this vinyl player and put it, record player, and then he put the CD and the tape was with it as well, and we had loads of choice. It was amazing. But honestly, you would not believe how different it would sound in the same hi-fi system.
Yeah.
You put the vinyl on, you'd put sort of Dire Straits on, maybe Pink Floyd, and then you put the tape on, and the quality was just unreal. And it's the same
Yeah.
setup, the same speakers, the
You know,
same EQ.
With a lot of the older albums, they were written with analog in mind.
Yes.
And vinyl, so
Yeah.
that's why it works. Where
Yes.
now, you get like bands putting digital music onto vinyl, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Well, not to people who know.
Yeah.
You can't, if that was someone's first experience, I suppose it would add a bit more of that to it. But you'd have to make sure that person went to something that was made analog wise and put onto vinyl, because that's the authentic sort of version of
Yeah.
vinyl.
Yeah,
I
If
think.
we were gonna record again now a new album, we'd record analog to get the authenticity from it, but then we'd probably get it remastered digitally for other bits and bobs, sort of like your Spotify and your stuff like that. But it was for me, it was just all of everything. So I used to go and buy the tape, the CD, and the record. But if anything ever came out, so like singles, I would never go and buy a CD single. It was always a 7-inch.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always used to try and get sort of like REM numbered, the lowest numbered one you'd go through. Or a 12-inch. A 12-inch single was like, what are you buying a CD for? It's a 12-inch single. It's this big. You know what I mean? I was always into my vinyl. Always. It never ever left me. When people were going, oh yeah, I'm going to throw these at the tip. Do you want them? And it was like 50 vinyls in it, and I'm like, yeah,
how many
do you
people,
want any money for them?
How many people did that though?
Oh yeah.
Threw out their entire vinyl collection, and then 25 years later, they're like, oh my god, what have I done? They start realizing like, this is worth this. I had that.
Yeah,
I had that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ever since opening the shop,
Every
we've
day,
had some
innit?
horror stories, haven't we?
I'll bet.
Honestly, ex-wives burning
My wife
Beatles.
chucked him out,
Yeah.
and I didn't say anything.
Honestly, classical records going to the charity shops selling for thousands. You
Like
know.
original Beatle pressings.
Yeah,
of,
loads of
God.
Beatles.
We've got one in a
Stones.
minute, haven't we?
Yeah, well, this is
Struggling.
what I was going to ask. What are some of your most expensive things that you've had or you've got? Or
We've got one in at the moment. We've got a wall, and we put the really expensive ones in a frame and just put offers on. So people,
All right, yeah.
All
people
the really rare ones.
yeah, so people can have a look and say, why is this rarer than this one and whatnot. But it was, I think I'd got a like a carrier bag of records, and I think a friend just said, give me a tenner for him. I was like, all right, it's about 7, 8 years ago. I was like, yeah, cool. So took him round to my brother's house, and he was like, oh, I've just got these off so and so. So he's like, all right, cool. And I was like, oh, cool, David Bowie. Oh, nice one, Beatles. Oh, Batman from the 60s. Yeah, what's that about? And then when we were getting the shop set up, Dave had to spend a lot of time archiving the stock.
Right.
Because obviously
working out like what it's worth
what
and
it's
like
worth
the history of
and
it,
blah,
because you have to clarify what it is and what it's worth.
Yeah, and if somebody comes to us and we've got obviously 20,000 used records, or if you got any aha, and we could just go to the art, or it'll be in the A section, and we can look in the archive and say, yeah, we've got this, and this, so it'll be in the A section.
Yeah.
So Dave rang me up, and this was like 7, 8 years after I'd got it, and he went, yeah, I'm just going through some of these records you're going to put in the shop. I was like, all right, yeah. And he goes, you know that Batman one from like 64? I was like, yeah. It's literally like Adam West and the other guy on the front cover. Right? And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, that rubbish one. He went, yeah, it went at auction last year for like 20 grand. I went, what? And I was like, Batman, yeah, whatever. And it was like, yeah, so we've got that in a frame.
Wow.
Went at auction about 20 grand, didn't it? So
Do you have to get some verified then, or like do you have to like confirm how much it's worth then, or
No,
you just
no,
go by like stuff you see on the internet what it's sold for previously, or
Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, how we price our records, Mark, is like we get like 5 or 6 different sort of prices from all over the world. Base a lot of it on condition, so if there's any tears, on
that's
it,
true, yeah.
any corners, it's really like the condition of the cover is so important, just as much as the record. People think, oh, Dark Side of the Moon, oh, it's worth $2 grand, or it's worth $1,000, and it plays, and it's got to be, everything's got to be in it.
Yeah.
The postcards, that everything.
Because it could be scratch, could have marks on it.
Exactly, yeah.
Like there's the packaging and then there's the disc itself, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, yeah. So each valuation can be very, very different. So we're very fair with our prices, very honest. We get about 5, 6 different prices from all over the world. Batman and Robin might have only been going up for a couple of grand at the time, but 2 rich guys just kept bidding up. They didn't want to lose it. It was the only one sort of in the world at the time that was sealed.
apart from under his bed.
Wow.
But it was
Just
sealed.
shoved under.
Yeah. But it was still a good nick though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the things we've tried to do is we try to be fair. So if somebody comes to us and says, "Oh, there's a original press. You've got an original pressing of Aladdin Sane by David Bowie. How much?" She says, "Oh, we'll make us an offer." And we know what we would like for it. And so everyone's got the internet. They can have a look. They can check it out. You know, they can.
You've
go
got to
on
meet in the middle
websites.
somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah,
haven't
of
you?
course.
Yeah.
And we'd sold one for, I think it was about £100. He offered. We were like, yeah, that's fair. And that's sort of like our ballpark of where we were.
Yeah.
And then he come back like a week later and just said, "Oh, he's got some more records." And he just said, "I've just been pricing that up," and he says, it was probably worth about 140. So thanks for letting us have it for 100. Like, oh well, we knew it was about 140, but we
Just to be
don't.
fair.
Yeah, we don't want to say it's 140, take it or leave it. We'd
Because it's
rather
part of your
have it.
reputation as well, isn't
Oh,
it?
of course
'Cause
it is,
Yeah.
What you do, word of mouth is quite important as
The
well.
new
yeah.
stuff's dead easy, so it's like you buy it at one price, everyone buys it at the retail,
Yeah.
at the trade price, and then they sell it at the retail price.
So you're getting more people buying like new stuff that's coming out or older stuff.
Probably more new sealed stuff than the
Yeah.
older stuff.
Right.
That's what shocked us, and that's why from sort of like week one we were like, right, okay, our business plan went straight out the window. So
Did you think it was going to be all older, trying to get all the older rare
Maybe,
stuff?
yeah.
totally, we thought everyone would be like us. That's what we're like, you see. So
I think that's part of the revival of bands. It's on their radar to do vinyl, and like, are they doing like limited edition stuff as well? More often than not, rather than just
Yeah.
putting it out on vinyl, sort of thing.
Yeah. There's most new releases. There'll be a limited batch that's available to independent stores only.
That's what you said
Example,
before, yeah.
like we said that before. And
Yeah.
Sleaford Mods brought I think it was a few hundred out on blue vinyl. We got 10 of them. You know, we're trying our best to sort of get the deluxe editions. You know, Biffy Clyro's, Queen Stoney's, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or we'll get the deluxe edition, the anthology ones, and people like the colours. I'm a sucker for my colour. I love colour.
Well, you know, some people back in the say the 70s, people would just go into a store and just pick an album like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why people bought it is just go, oh, that's amazing, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to have that. Didn't even know that before I even listened to it.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm have that. But I went through a phase of that with CDs as well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily buying it, but you pick stuff stood out. I think that's part of your... I remember Andy, our original bass player, he was always saying like, it's got to be colourful, it's got to stand out. Like he'd like make us go to like the record stores and goes, what stands out? You know, so what is it about that makes you stand out? And we sort of factored that into when we did our artwork. Like
That's
fire, like bright colours.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got to stand out like that. Plus, it's
Make
like
an impact.
yeah, it's like if you're going through a magazine, like people just and if something whatever it is, it's just, and they stay on it.
Yeah, of course.
That's kind of part of your mission, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're creating something.
People will only buy for stuff that they like, and it's either with what we do, it's either visually, audio, or both.
Yeah.
So it's like when I bought Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire. That album, when you look at it, bright yellow with like the crest of it, and it's like it's one of the best looking albums you could look at, and it's like the album's great as well.
Yeah.
But like when you pull it out of your collection, and some a friend will go, "Ooh, what's that?" And they're not into like Rage Against the Machine or anything like that, but they'll be looking at it.
It's funny. Some albums, they're not really that like the covers. Like never mind the bollocks. It's like it's iconic, but if you look at it, you're like, what is this? There's not much to look at really, but
No Effects are really good at it. They're class. They're class.
Well, I mean, like older Iron Maiden ones, with the pull out the massive posters of the artwork. I mean, that was a huge selling point for them. Like when they had to go to CD, I bet they were fucking gutted. Like, it just doesn't work, does it?
No.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something to be said for vinyl. I really do need to buy some more.
I know a shop in Barrow if you.
Yeah. Oh, where did the name come from? Why TNT?
TNT.
Was there other possible names you nearly went for?
Well, I run another business, and I called it TNT Comms. So I run some mobile communication.
Yeah.
No, it's like not joined or anything in particular. It's just.
And I called it TNT just because I've got kids. And if I was going to hand my business down to him, it'd be like, instead of putting Turner and Sons or Turner and Sons, because our surname's Turner, I thought TNT, Turner and Turner. But it was just something that I quickly
makes me just think of like AC/DC or something.
Yeah. So then when Dave was like, we should open a record shop. We should open a vinyl record shop. And I'm like, oh, I'm too busy. You open it, I'll help you. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he says, and he was like, right, we'll come up with a good name. So like, that was one of the first things. We had the vinyl. It was like one of the first things we wanted was a name. And he was like, right, I've come up with all these, but I can't get away from TNT. And you've already got it. And I went, well, TNT Records is class. It's like, because my business isn't on a board. My business is underneath another business, you see. So people don't know what my business is, whereas his business is a brand.
Yes.
Whereas mine isn't.
You wanted all family involved, you see, like sons,
you
know, nieces, Dana's that got kids, I've got kids, you know, partners, parents, you know. We wanted it all involved, so TNT and sort of
that's good.
With it being sort of explosive.
Yeah.
You know,
that's kind of what it makes you think of.
That's what we wanted to do.
So where did you get like your did you design a logo for it, or did you get to someone else to do it, or did you just go for
we sort of had the concept for it. Yeah, we got a local sign company involved, who've been good with us in the past throughout our different bands and stuff.
Yeah.
So they've helped us out. He come up with a logo for us pretty sharpish. We were looking at a property, like different properties all year to like sort of open up TNT.
Yeah.
And
So you're fairly central in the.
yes, right in the centre. Right,
good.
right on the main
good.
strip coming in, right by a bus
That's
stop
That's
as
important,
well.
I suppose,
Yeah.
especially for footfall.
Yeah, a lot of passing train. It's like the sort of nice streets as well.
Yeah.
It's like not down the sunny side streets, it's all on the main road. You know,
Yeah.
bus route comes right in, and
How long did it take from having the idea to opening to the day you opened?
probably 12 months. I
Really?
would say, yeah.
You've got to look at it a different way though. So we had the idea to open, and because I'd already was running a business, it was like, right, you need to do this, this, and this. So within 2 days, we had TNT Records registered as a limited
Oh, I
company.
see, yeah.
We already had the accountant in there. We just needed the property. So we went to look at a property, loved it, and then they just literally messed us around for about 6 months. So
Oh,
it was
right.
like, yeah, we can have it at this. And we haggled with the price, and it's like, look, when can we get in? Oh, well, we're just checking that, you know, they want to do it with a start-up and this, that, the other. And this is right, okay. And it was just, it got to a point where everything was pretty much in place apart from the actual
Signing of
Site.
the.
Yeah.
So
The
somebody,
important bit.
yeah. So somebody had mentioned to us that there was the place where we are now has gone up for lease, and we just walked past it, and there was a phone number, a mobile number on it, and we just said, oh, we want to have a look at this property. And he says, oh, we're only round the corner. We'll pop round. So we literally walked in, looked at it, and just went, right, yeah, we'll have it.
Fell in love. Fell in love.
Literally the day after we signed, had the keys. We looked at it on the Thursday. We had the keys on the Friday. The trades went in on the Saturday to deck it all out, and we were
wow.
we were open the following Saturday.
Open 7 days later.
Bloody hell.
So
We're doing like 48-hour shifts, joinery, painting.
So what did it need doing then?
and it didn't need a lot doing. It was quite clean inside. There was no flooring.
What had it been before?
It was an American cafe with a big sort of like cockpit of a plane in there, like a little plane, and people could sit in there. But then that was taken out, and it was called creative support, so it was helping disabled people get into work. So it was
Okay.
mainly like
Right.
offices space and stuff like that.
Pretty well kept then.
Yeah. So we didn't have to do anything with the floor. It was just the walls, the listening room, and building the actual wooden.
Yeah, they're all
sort of like-
custom built, you see,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
units.
So
Put
the
records in.
other levels, had you not initially planned to have that sort of thing? That was when you looked at the property, you thought, "Oh, we can do this," or had you planned
Well,
that anyway?
originally we wanted to just take the shop on, but then we seen how good the building was and the option to take the building as well.
Right.
So we just thought, well, we don't know what we want to do, you know, give us a couple of months to sort of work it out and see how the business goes. And
Yeah.
like say from day one, it just exploded like TNT would. So
So did you have to treat the rooms upstairs ready for?
No, they were pretty much all
Yeah.
ready to go. They were upstairs
right.
was looked after really well.
you
So
see, it's all like glass rooms and,
yeah,
and
like
a
office
proper
conference
recording
rooms
studio
and stuff.
looking.
So
Mm.
we just
A
kind
jackpot
of
then.
yeah, we just kind of put like a Pink Floyd poster up in it.
That's
Turned it into
Done.
like a practice room.
Done.
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 So how much often do you work there? Like, who's
We're
there the
open-
most? Are you there? The
Yeah,
you,
we're
obviously
open
you've got your
7
other
days a
business as
week.
well. So
Yeah. So Dave's there 7 days a week. Dave's the director. Dave's the owner.
Yeah.
He's the one that does it all. We help out as a family. So I'll
so all your staff are just people in the family.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'll
You
help
definitely
him-
don't get that very often these days.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I'll help out with a bit of the ordering, helping him with some invoices, paying some bills, go to the bank for him, stuff like that. Anything that's sort of like more business related that
Yeah.
I've already done.
Yeah.
Because he's
Well, that leaves
learning.
you to focus on just
Yeah,
like running the
Of
store.
course, yeah.
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 So he's
That's like me with him. I can't do all of that and talk to you at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Team, innit?
Of course it is, mate, yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, Dave's knowledge in music and vinyl, and
Yeah.
you know he's very educated within grading an album. So if somebody came into me and I was like, you know, with I don't know, an original Wish You Were Here, I'm going, that's worth about 4 million, that, and he's like, no, it's worth
So
about 40
what is the
quid.
grading process?
Well, ask our Dave because I have no idea. It's like
Well, first it's got to be checked.
How
gotta
so?
play.
Well, of all used records, everything's got to be checked. We check it on 3-4 different record players, low budget,
Right, I see what you mean.
mid-range.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
we don't sell anything that doesn't play.
Yeah, everything on the
Yeah,
shop floor used.
So
will
do you
always-
get people to come and try to sell you?
Yes, all the
Yes.
time.
Do you do that?
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
right?
we
But
buy
obviously
records.
you have to check them as well before you'd
Yeah.
accept
Oh,
it.
definitely. Yeah.
It's like when you used to try to sell games or something like that. So
Yeah.
there's like scratches on it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Oh, right,
Yeah, we
okay.
just put it through different vinyls on different decks, check them, see if they're all right. We had a big sort of like over £1,000 moth machine as well, which
A
is
what?
like It's like a record cleaner machine.
Oh,
It looks like a big fax machine from
Yeah.
the 90s.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it sounds like a tractor.
But it works.
It's absolute works wonders. We also put it through the cleaner. It's like hot oil.
Are scratches easy to sort out? Or does it depend? I suppose it depends how bad the scratch is.
Sometimes there's no scratches on it, and it's still jumping. You can't get rid of it.
Is that because it's like warped, or do you think? Or?
It can be anything. It can be anything.
Yeah, we were looking into it, and we had to understand the manufacturing process. So when they make a vinyl, they make a plate first that's got the grooves in it, and then they pour the vinyl in, and that's what makes
Like a master.
the grooves. So it's like
So they
a
can
big
replicate
metal
it.
plate. Yeah. But the more they pour in vinyl in, when they get to a certain amount of vinyl, the thinner the grooves get. So sort of like your first sort of like 1,000 pressings, the grooves will, if you measure them with a microscope, would be exactly the same depth for the needle to go in and play. Whereas when you get further on, as the plate is being used with hot wax, the plate will start getting used more, so the grooves get lower.
So really, they should do another new plate, shouldn't they?
Which is they do a new plate, but they want to get as much as they can before they have to invest in putting a new plate.
Sometimes those might be the most valuable ones. They've got like a mistake, or they don't quite put. They're all like limited edition. That run there's something quite wrong. But if you've got one,
it runs into a different song and everything.
This one's got no songs on it. It's worth millions.
Totally blank.
vinyl was the only one where like, if you play it in reverse.
Try
and play a CD. Might try and play a fucking CD in reverse. But yeah, people used to do that, didn't they? On purpose. Like,
I just love listening to Elvis at double speed.
oh yeah, double speed. Yeah, chipmunks. The ones you can slower, can't you?
Sounds like little Nicky when he's turned the Chicago. Spread of the blood of the innocent. When he's doing it in reverse.
Because there is that whole process of like opening the thing, getting the disc out, putting it on, and then putting the needle on, and then waiting for that noise before it starts. Like,
people love the crackle. They say, "Oh, don't get rid of the crackle." I'm like, I'm just going to put it through the cleaning machine. No. I want to keep the crackle.
Do you remember what were the first album you bought was with your own money?
Yeah.
What was it?
I bought an album called Disco Duck. And I bought it just because it had a duck on it. And I did. I was about 11, I had a paper round. All the vinyl that I wanted previously, my dad got. So my dad used to buy vinyl all the time. I like that, Dad, I listen to that. But I went down to Kelly's and I was looking, and I was like, my dad's got that, my dad's got that, my dad's got that. I was like, oh, what's that? And I was 11, there was a duck on it. And you can actually,
I had £2, so I bought it.
You can actually hear the song as well on Saturday Night Fever when he's walking through like a dance rehearsal room. He's going from one room to another to meet Olivia Newton-John, and all these people are dancing to Disco Duck. And it's like disco.
But you didn't know what it was when you got it.
I didn't know what it was at the time. It was called Disco Duck, and it was just loads of disco songs, famous disco songs, but sang by a duck. So like, you know what I mean, like Donald Duck sort of thing.
We need to put that in the show notes. What about you?
I could have gone the cool then, couldn't I? I could have said Nirvana, but no, I was going.
I think mine was Dark Side of the Moon.
That's pretty cool.
To be fair, I think it was Dark Side of the Moon.
Because I remember we've all you wanted stuff and your parents would buy it for you.
Yeah, my dad had the walls.
The first time with your own money, like if you've got your job or your paper round and you bought it with your money. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, I remember my dad having. I remember going to a local sort of like tape and record fair, and I was looking through and I was like, tapes, CDs, tapes. I'm sure it was Dark Side of the Moon I bought, because I remember him, because my dad had the Wall. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to get that. Dad's got that, Dad's got that, Dad's got that, Dad's got that. R.E.M. Dire Straits. You know? It was all in there, like. But definitely first one, Dark Side of the Moon.
Cool. Mine was Load by Metallica.
Nice. Yeah.
In 96, whenever it came out, I was 15.
Is that not a triple? Is that a triple album?
No, Load and Reload were technically a double album.
Oh, yeah.
They're all written at the same time.
Separate.
They're all written at the same time, but one Load was 96, Reload 97.
Yeah.
But that was the one where I first went, because I had a job, and I went with my own money with my mates. We all bought it for some reason. Like back in the day, we all bought the same album, but there you go.
Carpe Diem, baby.
Yeah, because like one of the first albums I remember wanting that I got bought for me was Nevermind back in 91. I was only 10 or 11,
Yeah.
but it was like, it was just on the radio, and it was just like, all you ever heard,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
And it just had such an impact. I was just
Yeah.
like, I want that. I think that was the first time I asked for.
Yeah.
When he said, I've heard something and I want to buy it. So, and then I remember,
I feel that bad saying Disco Duck now.
that's a good story. We'll chop that bit out. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll put that out
Alright,
first. Over and over again. But vinyl didn't come into my life till I was about 12 or 13. At one of my relatives' house, all they had was vinyl. They didn't do tapes. CDs were out, but they hadn't bothered with that. But Michael Jackson on vinyl, like Thriller and Bad and all that. Just listening on like my family's just like yakking on. I'm just on the floor with my eyes closed, just massive headphones on, just like just listening to it.
Cool.
Like, I don't do that anymore. It's just not part of my life. I wish I did. It's just time. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of music, especially for younger people. I think music's a bit more of a background thing. Like they're always doing something while they listen to music. I don't think the younger generations actually just listen to music.
Yeah.
I think they're always doing something else.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Which is sad. Which I wish it wasn't that way.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always going to be that retro feel to it, or even 5 years from now.
Yeah.
It's like, one of my favourite films, being a dad, is What's Wreck-It Ralph with the kids.
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah,
you say, oh no, where's like Street Fighter? I used to play that one. I used to beat him with it all the time.
And your kids are like, what?
Yeah. So like that retro thing it comes across as cool, and we're not trying to be cool with it. We just love vinyl records.
Yeah.
We just love it, and we like speaking to people come into the shop, and they don't have a vinyl player. And I just want to look through the records. It's like, cool.
That would have been me a few years ago.
Just look through.
Bit of nostalgia for them, and they come
Yeah,
and chill out and listen in the room, have a brew. They don't even buy it. They just
Well, that's it. The
Play it
other,
and-
what does it say? The other best seller other than sex is nostalgia. So there you go. So you're in the right business.
some of the noises from the women. Like,
But I don't know, like vinyl. I don't know. I think there could be always like a. Do you think you'd ever open more than one store? Then
ooh.
Right, so like I
'Cause
said,
that's
like I said
It's a
previous,
bit strange how you've said that today.
we had a business plan.
Yeah.
So we had a budget that we wanted to spend in the first year. We knew how much the rent was going to be. We knew how much the council tax was going to be. We knew how much wages
All your
were going to
overheads.
be. Yeah, we knew
Yeah.
how much pretty much it was going to be. After the first day, when we realised that people are going to be buying new vinyl, we literally spent our yearly budget in about 2 weeks.
but if you're going to sell
So-
it, then
Yeah.
it's
So
what you got to do with
we
it.
had 3 boxes, or 3 bins as we call them, of new vinyl of 250. We've now got nearly 13 boxes of new
Fucking
vinyl.
hell.
The
So-
selection we've got is unreal.
It's,
Unreal.
You're just learning as you go, aren't you? You just got to adapt.
Yeah, it's business, isn't it? It's you look at where I work normally in the mobile phone industry. You look at the way that changes on a weekly, monthly,
Yeah.
daily basis.
But also,
it's
you
mental.
haven't got much to compare to, though, have you? 'Cause especially doing it for the first time. But there's not
Yeah.
like loads of record stores where you
No.
can say this is the
Yeah.
trend. This is what we should do.
Yeah, and we opened, and then HMV shut, so we were like, is it because
Jackpot.
we've opened here or what? But
HMV's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
People will come in and like, what have you done at HMV? Bloody hell.
We took them out.
See, I actually had to put my business head on at that point, and people were like, "Oh, I bet it's going to be really good for you." And I was thinking to myself, it's actually going to be worse because HMV buy that much merchandise and vinyl
Yeah, that's true.
that our record label's going to spend the money to produce the vinyl just for independence, because there is only HMV and really Amazon that kind of do it on a big scale.
Mass.
I suppose it depends if there's enough independent record stores.
Well, there's 249 of us this year that are on
Yeah.
Record Store Day.
You know your
so
stats, impressive.
There's 2 new ones that came on this year, apart from last year.
So there's more independent record stores than HMVs.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're only down to 100 now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
So
tells you everything you need
It
to know,
takes.
really.
Oh,
There's some independent record stores that are not on it.
All right.
So we actually.
So how did you, like, obviously you, for people that don't know, you've been selected to be an official, how do you say it, that for Independent Record Store Day? Did they come to you and say, because you're
No.
part of it, aren't you?
We are part of it, and yeah, it's a really in-depth application process.
Okay, right.
We didn't realise what it really entailed, and it was like getting into the mafia.
But you knew it was something you should try and be part
Yeah.
of.
We had to be part of it.
Yeah.
From the day we opened, people saying, "You part of Record Store Day."
It's
you
the
part of
biggest
Record
day of the
Store
year for any
So what is the
independent store.
criteria then?
So you
I'm interested.
you apply, yeah. So you fill out the application form. We
Yeah.
fill out the application form. There's a £60 administration fee to be part of it, to be on sort of like their publicity stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then literally once we'd sent the application in, about 3 days later, it said, "Nah, you've not gone."
Oh.
So I was like,
Takes
"Oh,
over
right."
3 years for a star, on average, to get accepted
Accepted,
for
yeah.
record store.
So
day.
I did a bit of research and I literally found a phone number for somebody that worked there.
Right.
Um,
That is old school as well, isn't it?
yeah, proper investigation.
Yellow pages.
That's good. Yeah.
So we knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew
So
somebody else.
just
on
the fact that you
Facebook.
like ring someone, talk to them these days.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
old school.
Yeah.
So it was literally like a Facebook trail. I found this person. They worked at the record store there. So I was like, right. So I just rang a mobile number. There's a girl called Robin.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, hi, Robin. You don't know me, but we own an independent record store in Barrow-In-Furness, and we've not been accepted. Just wondering if you could tell me why."
Yeah, like what, they think that would be standard to let you know why.
Yeah.
And she went, "All right, let me get." She goes, "How'd you get my number?" And I went,
I'm very good. You
Well-
underestimate the sneakiness.
I could have said that, and she could have got creeped out.
Yeah.
So what? I thought I'd be clever and say, "Oh, we both know Jeff." And she went, "All right, yeah, no worries."
But you
I'll
just pick a
get
random
back-"
name.
Total random. So he stood there and he's going, "Who's Jeff?" And I went, "I don't fucking know." And she's like, "Right, all right, I'll have a look at your application. I'll get back to you." So she got back to
You could have said Steve, and she
Yeah.
got. I don't know, fucking Steve.
Everyone knows a Jeff.
That's brilliant.
Everyone knows a Jeff.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, Dave,
Yeah, I'm a Dave, yeah. So, yeah, she come back to us, sent us an email saying, "Oh, this is the reason why. You're brand new. There's around about 25 different distributors and suppliers that supply the records.
Right.
And you don't have enough accounts with these people to
Okay.
get the records in." So the cut-off for Record Store Day applications was the 31st of January.
Right.
So we'd spoke about where we're going to get these new records from anyway, because we need to get more distributors. We had 2 to start off with, but they were more sort of your mainstream. They weren't sort of like the independents.
Yeah.
So we did even more research, and we literally found somewhere online a list of who supplies Record Store Day records.
Boom.
So we literally started from number 1, found a number, rang them, "Can we have an account?" Yeah, no worries, sent us application form, got it, did it, just worked our way
Brilliant.
down the list. So about
So that helped you anyway, didn't it, in what you wanted
Yeah.
to do going forward?
yeah. So about a week beforehand, I literally just kept ringing. I was going, "Hi, Robin," from different numbers, because
It's Dave.
yeah. It's like
It's Jeff.
Yeah.
No.
Because I'd use my other number, and she just red button me. So because I own mobile phone shops, I'm like, "Give me a SIM card." I'm like, "Robin, Dan again from TNT." She's like, "Oh yeah, Dan, you all right?" I say, "Yeah, just to let you know, I've opened this account." "All right, no problem." And then literally about a week before, she just sent me an email, just went, "Please don't ring me anymore. We've put you through. You're in." It's like, Robin, see you
You
later.
beat her down. That is brilliant.
So-
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty much how we got on. There's a gentleman that rang me. He'll probably watch this as well, because he says he watches this. So forgive me, I forgot his name. He owns a distributing company. He does about 3 different labels.
Yeah.
And he writes books and does podcasts and things like that on the vinyl revolution and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. He writes for Mojo magazine, and he's part of the ERA, which is sort of like the vinyl music body
Right.
of people.
Yeah.
And he literally just sent us an email, didn't he? Because we came on a list, so they must get the list of who's participating. And he sent us an email saying, "Hi, I'm Graham, I think he was called.
Correct.
You need an account with us to order. Could you give me a ring? I'm interested in how you got on."
He just wanted to speak to us.
Yeah. And he was literally on the phone for about an hour and a half, and his first comment was just, "How did you get on Record Store Day?" So I told him the exact same story, and he
Right.
just went, "That's amazing." He was like, people, honestly, shops open and spend thousands and thousands of pounds on building a brand and building the clientele, and for you've got to be established for at least 3 years before you get any Record Store Day stock.
Yeah.
What you've done in literally 4 weeks
Yeah.
is amazing, and we couldn't have really done it without the support from the people coming in and telling us what they want on vinyl.
Yeah.
And
True.
Yeah. We want new. We don't want this huge stuff. We
Yeah.
want nice,
Having
shiny. We
Loads
want
of
to take
people
it.
every day coming in just saying how much the sort of local community needs it, and it's just what the town needs. There's nothing around there like it. Or I always get on the train to go to Manchester, and I've got to go through here, and I've just been there, and you undercut everybody by, like, we undercut everyone by a couple of pounds, and that's just
but not even intentionally.
No.
Well,
sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the new stuff, we will get an album in and we'll see how much people are selling it. So the Ian Brown Ripples, for example, we got them in white because they were independent on white and everyone else's were on black. They were exactly the same price. So you go to HMV, you'd buy it for £22 and you'd buy it from £22 from an independent, and it'd be a limited edition white that probably 10 years down the line is going to be worth more money. But when we get anything in, we don't want to put a £30 tag on it when you can get it at HMV or Amazon for 19 quid, because then we wouldn't sell it. So we have to make a conscious decision. So I'll say, right, we've bought this at this price, Dave. What do you want to price it at? Because these are the prices. All right, well, we'll do it at this. And when people buy more than one, we'll talk. It's like, you've got these. It's
because you're independent and you can fucking do that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty
We're
of it.
always constant knocking a couple of pound off of people, even though the price is,
Well, if it means that the difference between getting a sale and not getting a sale, why not? They might, if they're like a new customer, then they might be a return customer after you do that.
And the customers know how flexible we can be sort of on used items as well. So they make me an offer sometimes, or they ask what I've got around it, and I'm like, oh, it's, £32. Oh, would you take 25? Oh, how about we go out? And we always have a little, while we're stuff in a cup of tea, and they love it. It's just a good environment.
Sometimes we can't move at all. Sometimes we've had to discount it that much that we're not making any money on it. So it's just like,
that's bottom line. You've got
So look, we can't move on this, but here's a cup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's probably cost us, I don't know, 3 or 4 quid and we're selling them for £5 or something. But have a cup instead. Next time you come in, we'll try and get you some more discount. And we're just trying to. A lot of the reviews we're getting on Facebook is, the owner's awesome. He knows his stuff and this, that, and the other. And that's down to Dave doing his day job, when he opens the doors, knowing that when somebody walks in, not judging what he's going to buy. Because literally yesterday, we were in all day yesterday, and sort of like your 45-ish age two couples came in, 2 gentlemen and 2 women. Looked like they were just about to go out. I think it was about 5 o'clock. And they were like, oh, wow. And it was like, oh, would you like, if your first time in, would you like me to explain how, it's all sort of like A, B, C, D and all this sort of thing. And they were just like, no, Italian hard dance, please. And it was just like, okay, at the back, right, no worries. And then it got to a point where the lads were going through and pulling stuff out, and the lasses were like, you've got any Taylor Swift? Yeah, just can we use your listening room? I'm bored of these. You're like, yeah. So the wives were in the listening
something
room
for everyone
listening to Taylor Swift, and they were like going through like that. So,
that's part of your experience, isn't it, that you offer.
Yeah.
So, that's the way that that's the way that our Dave goes about it, and I think that it's working. And when you asked if we're going to open another shop, we'd love to open another shop, but we're still trying to keep a lid on what we've got at the moment.
Well, that's what they always say. Make sure you get your first one spot on, 100%, before taking on anything else. It's like that's standard practice with franchising, isn't it?
Always open-minded about anything like that down the line, definitely.
So have you got many friends who share your passion or what you guys like for vinyl and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do. And we're meeting like loads of people, new people every day who just share the passion. Like they're coming through from 30, 40 minutes away on the bus. And people are travelling a long way, just to come to take me Elvis off me or whatever I've got, or maybe play it at like double the speed. You never know.
We've tried to create something that's non-transactional.
Yeah.
My other business is very transactional. So you come in, you tell me what you want, I'll find out what you want, you'll take it, you'll go.
This is more of an experience.
And that's one of the things we wanted to do. We wanted a hub that was based around vinyl.
Well, because that's what they used to be.
Yeah.
People used to meet at the record stores, spend ages, spend money there, listen to records, just chilling out.
Saturday afternoons are great, Mark.
Yeah.
Like, people having cups of tea, going in and out the listening room, you know. Someone's over in the tea section looking at, and they're talking to me about Thunder, and then someone else is over in the dance, 1975, mate. and oh yeah, and everyone's just getting in on it, you know, kids are coming in, you know, we're doing a little cupcakes on a Saturday, and it's just, you know, hence the music hub, like Dan was saying, you know, with like rehearsal rooms upstairs, you know, drum lessons for the young ones, and, you know, any age, you know, guitar lessons soon, you know. It's just late night openings, Beatles nights, Floyd nights, you know. It's just what
you
we're
put
all
special
about.
nights for
It's
certain
just
things,
driven by passion, mate, you know. And
We get tagged, don't we, on a weekend, on a Saturday, sort of like the younger, sort of like under your 25s, and they'll put, you know, they'll have a group of friends on Facebook, you know, are we going for a coffee and a record hunt? And tag us in, and there'll be like 6 people. Oh,
that's
yeah,
like
love
going,
it.
That's literally like going back in time.
yeah.
That's awesome. Because I've got a friend.
it's all new to them.
You know Mark Cooper, the drummer for Babylon Fire?
Yeah.
The Heat is like massive on vinyl. He's always putting up like every Friday night. He's like puts a specific vinyl picture of it, like with like a drink or something like that.
Yeah.
He's always got limited edition everything. So whenever I come across a vinyl, I go, I'll see it for sale, and then I'll send him a picture. He goes, what do you think? It's way overpriced. Should be about 20 quid less. He knows everything. He'll definitely be. But I like good that I know someone like that. They just know their stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you always get with somewhere like your place. Like they're always. It's not just a job. It's not just a business. It's like your passion as well.
Yeah.
So it's part of the experience when someone.
Of course.
That's like part of your job as well, isn't it? To sort of be knowledgeable.
Yeah. We thought there'd probably be, you know, a lot of our friends are musicians. So, you know, we've grown up playing in bands and stuff like that and whatnot. And they're probably not the people that are coming in and buying the vinyl.
You'd
The
probably be
people,
surprised.
the people that are coming in and buying the vinyl are just your everyday Joe that just loves music, sits there. And it's like, you know, I was saying to our Dave, I was like, oh, so-and-so not been in for thingy. He went, nah, not seen him. I'm like, all right. But then the amount of other people that are coming in, and it's like, that would probably never have...
It's
I'd
because,
never
it's
have
because
met.
you're there.
Yeah.
You weren't there, so they didn't go. Now you've showed up, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm interested. So they just... But the option wasn't there for them before, was it? So we need more people to do what you guys did.
Just not in Barrow.
So out of the 200, 249 independent record stores,
249 independent
how
record
many
stores.
are on independent record store day, would you say? Oh, that 249.
No, there's 249
on record store
on
day.
record store day.
Right.
So there's...
How many stores do you think that independent record stores there are in total?
I think there's probably only another 50 that might not be on it. And they're only probably new. So the guy in Kendall... he's not on it. I don't know whether he applied or whether he didn't. I'm not too sure. But it is the biggest day of music, not just vinyl. It's just It's
well, like like some of the bigger ones in America that have big bands. Like Metallica did one last year. The big install. They were there for ages.
Yeah.
Played a gig, did the signing, hung out with all the people on that. And that's you don't get that anymore these days. And
I think Pearl Jam are ambassadors this year.
Yeah.
are they?
So there's there was a video on recordstoreday.com, which is the USA version, and there's like Mike McCready's the guitarist going through a vinyl, and he pulls out the old Pearl Jam, and Eddie Vedder's walking past in the background, and he says something.
Yeah.
It's only a short video, but it's like a promotional video for for it all. And
You used to get like bands or like guitarists doing like a sort of a session in the store. I remember Dimebag Darrell doing one, and he used to do that. He used to do that quite regularly.
I did actually phone Eddie Vedder and said, I said, Jeff's give me a number.
He does know a Jeff.
Do you fancy coming playing at TNT Records?
But he was on to you.
He says he's not in the UK that day. So
How many? You've opened from 8 until when on Record Store Day?
Just whenever, I think.
about 9 p.m.
It's the first day for us, Record Store Day, of doing it. So I've experienced it once before, about 3 years ago.
Right.
I didn't queue up. I didn't go early enough. I went at about 12 o'clock. It was in Chorley, and there was Nout left. And it was like, oh yeah, mate, you should have queued up. And people queue up and overnight. And
so is that part of the thing to get loads of some more rare records in to hype things up a bit when people do come in?
Yeah, so the official releases are the official releases. There's unofficial releases as well, but there's a guide that...
I was going to say, is that criteria of things you have to do on Record Store Day to be part of it?
Like because for us?
Yeah, because you're part of it, they say we want you to do this.
So you can't open before 8.
Right. Not that you would want to probably do that anyway.
Yeah. You can't open before 8. It has to be sold at the price. A customer can only buy one record of each title.
Up to 5.
And then once they've got 5 titles, they then have to go to the back of the queue.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
True story.
I think in the past they've had more than people going in for more than 5. So
With lots of money.
Yeah.
Just
So-
going,
But then,
"Oh,
but then
then
selling them on
selling
eBay
them.
the day after for hundreds of pounds more.
that kind of defeats the object, doesn't it?
Yeah,
totally.
That's not what it's about.
No. So and you can put any stuff on that you want. Speaking to Graham from Proper, he said that it's pretty much sort of like your the Black Friday of
Yeah.
independent
Without
vinyl
the,
record
without the
shops.
fights and the elbows and the.
Yeah. It has to be controlled. It's gonna be. I mean, since we've opened, we've been learning, and this is going to
Yeah,
be another
always
learning
learning.
curve.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we've got enough stock in. We've put enough orders in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get in. Hopefully, we'll get in what we need to get in for the people that have ordered. We've had the list since the 28th of Feb, so people have been coming in saying, "I'd like to get this in." There's over
A list of what you're going to be selling.
Yeah, we've had it in store for people to mark off what they're interested in.
So have they sent you a list of things to sell on Record Store Day?
No. So there's over 500 releases that are official Record Store Day releases.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah.
Got ya.
If we got in 10 of each record, and there's some weird and wonderful titles that,
I bet there is.
Yeah.
that are in there, we would probably be holding on to a lot of stock. There'd be a lot of money invested in that probably wouldn't go. So we've
Yeah.
got to look at what people want to buy, our customer base, what we think they're going to buy. But when they did the release on the 28th of February, which is the official release at 6 o'clock at night, and it was like, this is what's coming out this year. Everyone was online trying to find it.
Yeah.
It was in Long Live Vinyl, the big list and the map of where everybody was. We printed out a list, and we were like, look, there's the list, yeah. Put a mark next to the one that
Yeah.
you'd be interested
Tell
in
us what you
buying.
want.
Because we
The
don't want
market
to
research.
yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to get in absolutely everything and then be lumbered with a lot of stock that
That's
we
true.
ain't going to
Yeah.
sell.
But you haven't had long to learn these things, have you?
No, yeah. There's a lot of people messaging us on Facebook, through Instagram, emailing us. Or are you getting this in? Can you get this in? You know,
Yeah.
can you hold it for me? We
Not allowed to
can't.
hold
We're
it.
not allowed to hold any records. Literally a first come, first served basis.
So you just say, just be there at 8.
Well, people look you up beforehand, so people
Yeah.
go to Preston from Barrow, they'd put a coach on and they'd all share it. And
So
they'd
you'll have a queue. You'll have a
yeah,
queue.
I
So
would hope so, yeah.
make sure you take a photo of that shit because that's good.
Yeah. Well, we've got Carl Steele's friends coming from Cumbria Live, local organisation who are helping local music. Kelly, she's going to come down, do a bit of filming for us, put us together a bit of a promotional video. We're going to hashtag it sort of behind the counter.
There's going to be somebody in the shop all night.
Wow.
So
all night
we just
Friday
can't
night.
open
Yeah,
the
yeah.
doors and let them in to buy anything.
But you can be there, yeah.
But we can be
Yeah.
there to, maybe give them a brew or
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
just stand
Yeah.
next to the radio and go, "Whee, we're well warm."
Do you have a TV in the store? You play videos on anything?
No.
Because one of the only independent stores I can't remember. I think it was in Newcastle. They used to play the MTV sort of thing.
Yeah,
they play
yeah.
the old videos of
Yeah.
what they've got in. They
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
We've just actually put, now that you said it, Mark, we've just actually put a TV on the shop floor, but it's only going to have like sort of old DVDs playing, like Chili Peppers,
yeah.
Rage Against the
That's
Machine.
kind of what they were doing.
Yeah, all that live stuff,
Yeah, all
yeah,
the stuff that kind of ties in with what they're selling.
Yeah,
That's kind of what
yeah.
they were playing.
Yeah.
But like speaking of MTV, that's like, what happened to MTV? It's like they used to be like best buddies with the record stores.
Yeah.
People would see it on MTV and then they'd go
Go
straight
buy
to
it.
the record store and go and buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But MTV could still be fairly bit more relevant if they still played fucking music. But they kind of sold their soul when they started when
Doing
they put all their
reality
they put all their eggs in the reality TV basket, didn't they? Because
Yeah.
it started with that. Do you remember the Real World,
The real world, yeah.
Yeah.
which was before Big Brother and anything?
Yeah.
Like I think it started. The first obviously is in America. I vaguely remember watching it, but obviously that must have done really well. So let's do more of that.
Yeah.
Let's just drop this music program and just add this reality TV. Then it
Yeah.
just kind of went like that, and it's just like I was pretty pissed off MTV.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
love turning it on and thinking what would be played at that point.
And this was before the digital thing. This was
Yeah.
before they saw the writing was on the wall. They
Beavis
probably would have ended up doing that anyway.
Yeah.
But they did it for completely different reasons back then.
Yeah.
I remember being really pissed off at them.
There's Beavis and Butthead Des.
Yeah. But I mean, who gives a shit what MTV think anymore? I mean, I saw an advert for MTV Rocks, some kind of indie advert, they were trying to set a compilation of like Oasis and Reef. I'm like, how out of touch can you be? First of all, who's buying a fucking compilation? CDs. It was a CD. It didn't say it on iTunes or anything. It was trying to sell me. MTV's trying to sell me a fucking CD in 2019. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. My missus is going, are you alright? I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'm angry. I'm passionate.
But, I don't know, MTV. No. But like VH1 as well, they kind of became everyone's favourite when MTV did that.
Yeah.
But then they kind of suffered. Just
they sort of did the classics.
They did the classics, but they kind of suffered just from naturally what was going to happen anyway when the digital came out. But they only went out of business like 5 years ago. Yeah. They had it was VH1, VH1 Classic, where they used to do all the behind the music, the albums and all. I used to love watching them.
I did with them.
But that's kind of like gone the same way as the rest of the industry's gone, isn't it? Where there's just no one watches TV like that anymore, do they?
No,
there's no place for it.
Everything's social media now, isn't it? It's just
everything's on demand, digital. Just
It angers me because I work in the industry where social media is a massive, massive platform, and the reason that people buy stuff from what I do is because of Instagram, Snapchat. You know, I'm getting this phone because it has an amazing selfie
and mainstream
camera.
commercial adverts as well.
Yeah. It's got an amazing selfie camera that I can just take a picture and press a button and it's on Snapchat. Do you know what I mean?
Don't get me started on all that bollocks.
For us as a business, for TNT Records, it was meant to be a gradual incline, like saying before. And one of the things that we wanted to obviously do was to go into the online market and to go into the mail order as you used to and stuff like that. And it's just we've had to put it on the back burner just because we can't keep the stock in that quick because literally. Like you said earlier, Dave can say, got a delivery in today, and before we've even priced it up and put it out, people are taking them out of the delivery box to buy them.
That's really cool to be able to be in that position.
I've seen that record on your picture.
Yeah.
Can I get it?
Can you hold me one? No, we don't hold stock for people. Unless you want to come in and pay a £5 because you haven't got any money till payday, we'll do that. But we're not going to hold stock for you.
You can't be doing that.
No. So we had a very large punk delivery, underground punk delivery. And one of the little
punks came out of the woodwork.
You won't believe it.
With their spikes hitting the top of the door.
We got a 7-inch in a bag, and it was by the Dead Kennedys.
Right.
And it was called Nazi Punks Fuck Off. Right.
But how punk a name can you get?
In the bag with the little 7-inch vinyl was a white armband you could put like the Nazi party used to wear, right? But it had a Nazi sign on it and a no entry sign because it was a song about Nazi punks. Fuck off! It was about
I see.
anti.
So it's anti that.
Yeah. But the bag was just full of Nazi signs, and the
swastika.
insert had a swastika. And I'm saying to him, he literally just took a picture of it all, and put it on. And I'm like pulling it out.
I saw that.
And I'm like, where are we going to put this?
Not in the fucking window.
Yeah. This is going to offend somebody, right? And as we're talking about it, literally some guy just bowls through the door and he goes, have you got that Nazi Punks Fuck Off? And I'm like, yeah. And he went, how much is it? And I went, don't know. And he goes, I'll give you 20 quid. And I went, all right, see you later. And I went, well, that's that conversation. We don't have to put it anywhere.
Wow. Oh, well, there you go.
10
Under
minutes
the radar
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Wow. I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's... we want to build a business from where we are, and it's just social media is working for us.
Yeah,
and when we talk about sort of like your
that's
MTV,
using it in the right way, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the ridiculous thing about the new phones with the selfie camera, it's like, that drives me up the wall. Yeah. Like when you go to someone's profile, men or women, and it's just selfie after selfie after selfie. Take a photo of something else other than yourself, you twat. It really annoys me. I think that says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
But it's just all about themselves. Like they're in front of like the Eiffel Tower, like just take a picture of that tower. Just get out of the photo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's like, what Facebook is, isn't it? Your Facebook is your profile to show people who you are not.
I use it as a diary of things that I've done.
I just use it to be nosy.
I think I did years ago, but I haven't got time. You're not on it, really.
No, I've just use it for TNT.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it works, but I mean, the punks are like probably one of the most dedicated, other than like heavy metal.
Yeah.
One of the most dedicated.
When the punks come in, they don't want anything else but punk.
They know exactly what.
And then
they
they go to the punk section. You got Ramones. It's not punk. No, we're talking because there's two waves of punk, you see, and these hardcore punks who come in. They're so passionate.
Punks are a bit more, especially at gigs. Like they don't want punk bands with other types of bands. They just want punk bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they've always they're probably one of the most specific types
Very, yeah.
that there is.
Yeah.
Like I say, heavy metal's kind of some of that, but there's so many different types of heavy metal
Yeah,
that
of
they
course.
go together. But punk, are you guys particularly into punk? Has it ever been a...
I like a bit of punk.
I don't mind a bit of punk.
I've seen the Damned live in Sheffield.
Yeah.
It
It definitely fits in with the whole DIY
We
ethos that
actually
you guys
played
do. I
with
think.
Sham 69.
Oh, right, yeah,
Dodgy,
yeah.
at a festival years ago.
Our local venue up here, the Brickyard in Carlisle. They have a lot of...
That.
That was our home venue we played, but they have a lot of big bands on there.
Yeah.
A lot of punk bands play there.
Cool.
There's different types of punk, like there is different types of rock and different types of heavy metal, different types of pop and different types of dance and trance and whatnot. And I don't think that the musical snobs. I just think that they like what they like and they don't like the other stuff.
That's it.
It's like
there's nothing wrong with that.
As,
That's just the way it's always been as well.
Yeah.
That hasn't sort of changed, has it?
I liked the punk stuff that bordered on the rock, so like your Damned, the Dickies.
Yeah.
I liked that sort of stuff. I wasn't really into the oi sort of stuff. I used to work in Blackpool when the Rebellion Festival was on. The big punk festival every year, and I'd literally park my car at one part of Blackpool and walk down past the Empress Ballroom and the Winter Gardens and walk into work. And as I'd be coming into work, there'd just be people asleep on the floor. And you'd think, all right, there's two times of the year where I would be walking over people to get to work, and it's the Rebellion Festival and the Young Farmers Weekend. So under the age
There's a dedicated bunch as well, the young farmers.
under the age of 18 that work on a farm, they get invited to this thing, and there's hundreds of them, and they smash windows, and the punks are actually tame compared to the young farmers, to be fair.
Tell them to fucking turn it down.
Yeah.
Tone it down, lads.
But that's how I got my education within punk, would be looking at stuff like that, because I wasn't really a punk sort of, I thought it was your Sex Pistols and that, but it's not really.
There's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah, so.
Well, they say that like the early 80s thrash came from punk. A lot of that, the attitude, so it was punk sort of sped up, I suppose, a bit. I suppose from like that kind of metal, it was more about the themes of the songs. What they were talking about was a bit more serious, I guess.
Class Motorhead as punk.
Yeah, they used to
And
at
it's
one
like,
point, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were like, no, it's proper rock, that like. And they're
That,
like,
that,
"No, no, it's
that was
punk."
probably back when they didn't really know how to classify most things.
Yeah.
Because it was all new, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, what was the last new genre we had?
Probably sort of like your.
New metal?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I would have thought your Stormzy stuff, all your.
But that went mainstream though.
Yeah.
I like grime. Yeah, grime.
Yeah, I
is,
suppose so. Yeah.
My kids are listening to stuff now I know now about them. They're like 13, 14. And I'm like, what? You like, I'll be downstairs, I've got Google Home in my house, so I'll be like, oh, Google play the last thing on me Spotify list, and it'll be like, what's this? And I really should know, because my brother runs a record shop. I should be helping him with all this new stuff, like, you know what I mean?
But I only know because my son, he's 16, he goes away and watches bands,
What kind of music's he into?
It's grime and rap.
Oh, okay, right.
So I brought him up with all this rock, metal, good music.
And he's completely disregarded that.
and he's literally he's very open minded, and he likes it, and he'll tap away and he'll sing the stuff I listen to. But his mates and the sort of theme that the way they're going now is like they're going down that sort of grime sort of rap way, and grime compared to rap is like they rap about different things apparently, but he's just been away to watch AJ or somebody in Leeds, and it was like a big academy, and there's thousands of them there, and I think probably new metal or grime would be one of your latest genres. I would have thought, yeah.
So isn't it funny that, like, I suppose when you get older, people can be like so famous in the world, and you're like, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Do you sell a lot of like the mainstream pop stuff, chart stuff as well? Like you actually sell it, people come in to buy that?
We have it in stock, but it doesn't go as fast as everything else. Like we've had like all the top 40s all there, always there. But it doesn't seem to
It's like a slow burner in the background.
It
ticking
doesn't
over
move
kind of thing.
as much as like your alternative, like Fleetwood Mac Rumours, rock stuff, blues stuff, even your country stuff, anything. We do everything at TNT, and the slowest is probably top 40, to be fair.
Right, yeah.
Your Ariana Grande and stuff like that, and Lady Gaga, we've still got that. We've got all that sort of stuff in. It's in its own sort of like top 40 current section.
Yeah.
But the kids are just, I mean, like they'll come in and go, got any Wombats? And I'm like, how do you know about Wombats? You know what I mean? And they'll get the Oasis and the Stone Roses and all that sort of stuff. And it's weird. It's like, you know, you can't really judge somebody on. I mean, I met you and I didn't, you know, I wouldn't have thought that you were into what you're in. I thought you were more of a jazzy type of guy. You know what I mean? Sort of like
I'm heavy metal all the way.
Your Blue Notes and your Duke Ellington and that sort of thing. So you can't judge someone.
I don't even know who they are.
Good.
That is brilliant. Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? That's music.
You can't judge someone on where they look anymore, whereas you probably could do in the 80s and the 70s. Well, yeah, if you know a punk's coming.
You can.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's like a lot of heavy metal people with all the t-shirts. Well, I've got what I got on. Red Dwarf.
Nice. I was singing that today in the car.
But but it used to be back in the day. It was a lot more. People were like very image conscious of what their music.
We had a guy come in last week. He had Stiff Little Fingers t-shirt on, leather jacket, you know, a load of patches on the back. Bought 3 records of the Blues Brothers. I said, you know, your sort of stuff's over here, mate. He's like, don't judge a book by its cover.
You were like, oops.
And he's like walking over, pulling out Carpenters, see, there they go again, Carpenters, pulling out Depeche Mode. I'm like,
but that's what these are the things that you learn as you go along. You just can't.
Blues Brothers.
We had a young lad in when we first opened. Came in with his deck shoes and little chinos and a little shirt and that. Talked very proper. He'd come to see his girlfriend that he'd met in university.
Yeah.
And he just went. He was having a look through, and I says, "Oh, are you all right?" And he goes, Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And I was like, well, if you can't find out, just give us a shout. We'll try and direct you in the right area. He says, yeah, do you want a drink out? No, I'm all right. And he says, oh, you could help me, actually. Do you have any 5-finger death punch? I was like, yes, we do. And he went, awesome, I'll take all of them, please.
Literally spent 140 quid on.
Bloody hell.
We had some limited editions, didn't we? Some splatter discs and stuff. So
that is, I love hearing stuff like that. So where do you decide like when you get or where do you go for your more rarer stuff then? Because I've seen you posting like, do you have a rare? Was it a Nirvana?
Yeah, well, they come off our distributors, yeah.
So they get in touch with you and say, we've got this, we've got that.
Yeah, we've got these coming in, you know, coming out 4 weeks ahead. You know, we could get them like 4-week previews. So we sort of know what's coming up.
Yeah.
We get the choice of like, you know, we might ask for 15, but we might only get 5 or 6 or, you know, because the limited
depending on how many
pressings.
Other people have asked for them.
Yeah, exactly. So like what you just said then, Mark, Nirvana Del Mar limited edition purple vinyl, 250 of them made. Released. We managed to get 10 of them. Is that a recent thing? Yeah. We managed to get 10 of them.
It's a live recording.
Right, yeah.
And I sold them all in 3 hours.
Wow.
People were coming down, but you know, I've seen it online.
The Queen live albums are absolutely. I mean, we've been quite lucky really because it's 2 distributors that do it. These sort of like obscure, like clear, you know, a 1977 Queen live recording from Buenos Aires or something like that, and they'll do 500 on a limited press. When we first started with that distributor, we were ordering like 3 or 4, and it was like, let's see if we can get them in and get them out, sort of thing. Yeah. Now we're putting orders in for 20 and getting 10, so they're sort of like saying, well, you know, they're selling them, so let's kind of
allow them a bit more.
Yeah. So when we ask for 25, we might get a bit more, but the stuff, once they've gone. We ain't getting them back. We can't get them back in. It's unbelievable. Right. The Nirvana stuff. It might.
So that's an important message to get across to your customers, isn't it? Like this isn't a repeat order. This is like this is it.
We have to put first come first. So, can you not keep it till Friday? It won't be here in 2 hours.
If it's here, it's here.
Sorry,
it's not.
But it's to have something like that in your collection, what comes out and never. That's record store day all over.
It's great to bring limited pressings like that to TNT.
Because there aren't many other mediums where you can do that.
No.
Like you're just like, we'll just go in the back catalogue and we'll just put a limited press of this out.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't even know who owns the Nirvana estate. Who's making the decisions to do stuff like that?
I think it's Courtney Love, isn't it? So she got so that's why. Do you remember the Nirvana? What was the Nirvana album that came out?
The
and
Black
it was about
one.
it came out about 8 years after he died, and it had that song that
it's just self-titled.
Oh, You Know You're Right.
You Know You're Right. Yeah, it had that on it.
Oh, from the Muddy Banks of the Wish Scar, whatever it was called. Was that what it was?
No, that was a different one. It was a black one, and it was all about Courtney Love.
Yeah.
So I think Dave.
It's just
Grohl,
Nirvana.
Right. Yeah, I think Dave Grohl had said something like, "Oh, we don't make the decisions on it."
I remember.
Yeah, it's all down
about that.
Courtney Love and stuff like that. So
have you seen the Foo Fighters documentary Back and Forth?
Yes, I have.
That was interesting because it starts just at the end of Nirvana thing.
Yeah.
For the first well, first 2 years.
He's a clever man.
Every single question in every interview was like, "It's a song about Kurt."
Yeah.
It's just like,
I liked the
sick of that.
bit near the beginning where because he's clever. He's a very clever guy.
Yeah.
When he was like, look, I was in Nirvana. I made some money. I got quite big, but I wanted to do my own thing. So I just phoned up the record label and just went, I was in Nirvana, and I'd just like to be released from my contract. And somebody in the record label went, the drummer from Nirvana wants to be released from the contract. And he went, it wasn't Kurt, was he? Yeah, let him go. And they literally just cancelled his contract. So from then, he was in complete
control of everything that he does from day one.
What he did.
Yeah.
So he
that's why he could do the album
everything.
himself.
Yeah,
That's
and
his
he's they're the only band that do it the way they do it. So they record before there was any other members in the band.
Yeah.
He would record everything.
Yeah.
He would then get members in to learn the songs.
To go on.
He would then do. They would then do a gig to all the record executives,
Yeah,
and then
like a
they would
showcase.
bid.
Distributors, you know.
Yeah.
And then they would bid to release.
You certainly don't
the
get
album.
that anymore, do you?
No,
No.
not
He
at
was in
all.
a very rare. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
smart.
Clever,
But
very clever.
that's probably one of the best documentaries I've seen on a band.
Yeah.
Especially because there's so much stuff that goes on. Like what he says, all the stuff that happened, all the members leaving and all that bullshit and falling out and stuff. Normally that happens with a band before you've even heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for them, they started because he was the drummer in Nirvana. They were like centre stage right from day
Yeah.
one. So people leaving, and then this guy joins. But now this guy's leaving. It's
Yeah.
I can't be asked with all that. But yeah, I recommend anyone back and forth. I bought it on Blu-ray after. I think we watched it as a band the night before we went in to record an album.
Yeah.
Just to, I don't know. I love documentaries of particularly bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And probably the only
It's good to get an insight of.
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
The Nirvana one that was just recent that his daughter filmed. I didn't realise it was his daughter that filmed it until
Francis.
near the end. Yeah.
What was
Francis
it? What was
Bean.
it?
When there was all the cartoons at the beginning. And,
Oh yeah.
About all his.
Because there was two that came out at the same time.
Yeah.
One was supposed to be a little bit more authentic, and the other one was supposed to be a bit like one-sided.
Yeah. I liked that one. I thought that was really good.
Because
It
it
gave me
made his diary sort of come to life, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because he kept a journal of a
it
lot
did.
of things.
I've got his journal at home. Big.
Oh right, I didn't know you could buy it.
Yeah, it came out on.
I bet
Courtney Love.
I was going to say, I bet Courtney Love owns that.
I had all like lyric sheet, like when he was writing songs and what, all that sort of stuff. And then there was like letters, and there was a letter that he wrote to. There was a drummer before Dave Grohl called Dave. That there was a letter that he wrote to him, sacking him, and all this sort of thing. And,
Yeah.
and
it was the drummer before Dave Grohl was called Chad, I think.
Oh yeah, it was the drummer before him. Yeah, that was
because
called Dave. Yeah.
Chad is the actual guy who came up with the Smells Like Teen Spirit. Ba-bum. He actually came up with that. Dave just ended up
Yeah.
playing it.
Yeah.
But that was in the documentary, and I didn't know about
Yeah,
that. So who's some of your like favorite bands of all time? Would you say, or when you were growing up, who's your biggest influences?
I went through stages, probably like everybody. You listen to something when you're 8, and then you don't listen to it. You listen to something else when you're 11. But
I don't think you have specific tastes when you're that age.
No,
It's like a bit
I
of
thi-
everything.
I think for me, like I said at the beginning, I'm a grunge kid.
Yeah.
I love Pearl Jam. I love Nirvana. Pearl Jam were definitely my favourite band of all time. My favourite album of all time was Temple of the Dog. I don't know if you've heard of
Absolutely.
that. And that just
Hunger Strike's probably one of my all-time favourite songs.
yeah, well, that just
Nice.
personified my whole teenage years. That album.
Yeah.
It was like you've got Pearl Jam, you've got Soundgarden, you've got
It's the perfect mix.
Yeah,
And the fact that there was only one makes it even more special. I
yeah,
think.
and the fact that they didn't publicise it as
they just did
Pearl
it, put it
Jam,
out.
yeah, and it says new band, Temple of the Dog,
Yeah,
self-released
they
album.
didn't use. They could have used the credentials to push it more, but they just put it out.
Two voices.
That was
just-
back when you could let the music speak for itself.
Yeah.
But now we'd have to have a big campaign, otherwise it would just
Yeah,
go
down.
No one would see it.
Yeah, and that for me is when I listen to that, I think about my youth, and I think about how I sort of like changed. When we were talking about how people look and judge a book by its cover, when I was at school, I knew who listened to Stone Roses because they wore flares.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
who
it
listened
used to be like that.
to
Definitely.
Metallica because they had long hair and they
Yeah.
wore leather
Yeah.
jackets.
Yeah.
I was just kind of the guy in the middle, sort of like wearing a flannel shirt, and I liked the Stone
Yeah, I
Roses.
did a bit of
liked
that,
Oasis.
yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
Metallica.
I went
So-
through my Kirk because I'm left-handed guitar as well,
Yeah.
and I had the same blonde hair as him. I remember I was like 14 when he died. And I was like, "Oh my god, can't believe it!" But
Yeah. Left-handed drummer.
there you go.
Yeah.
You don't get many of them to the
I
pound,
wiped
do
the
you?
bum with my left hand,
There you go.
even though I'm right-handed.
So, what was the band that you were in? Was it Code
We were
Jack?
called Code Jack, yeah.
Not Kojak, Code Jack. So where did that
Yeah.
name come from?
Wow.
And what genre of music is it?
Oh, it's like hard rock.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's like every song's sort of different, but a lot of people were putting us sort of in the hard rock sort of genre.
Right.
And we were put with like metal bands as we were sort of doing support slots early days. We didn't really fit with them. You know, we were put with sort of indie bands. We didn't really fit with them. You know, Dan, my brother, was the singer, so he has quite a unique voice. You know, and we sort of hard to pigeonhole. So that's probably one of the reasons why we sort of did what we did, and then sort of one of the reasons why we never really got where we wanted to be as well. Do you know what I mean?
It was fresh. It was new.
It was a new sound,
but nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
So people were like, "Oh, we've never."
They didn't know where to put you or what to do with you.
Yeah.
It was difficult. I mean, a lot of people said we sounded like Faith No More. People saying we sounded like sort of like early, sort of like Soundgarden.
Right.
You know, we had, you know, it was a bit melodic, shouty, sort of rocky sort of stuff. So we went on tour with metal bands, and we fit, because if somebody went in and wanted to listen to a rock band, then they've got rock and they've got a bit of metal.
Yeah.
But then we'd go on tour with an indie band, and it'd be like, we're a bit too hard for these, like, you know what I mean? And like, who are these? You know what I mean? So we were too tame for some people, and you know, we did really well. To be fair, we you know, we got around UK, we got around Europe. We had a deal that's still running.
But the band's not.
We've got to do 2 albums by next year. Just thought I'd let you know.
Is the band still going?
I had to take a break. I split up with my partner at the time. We had 2 kids together, and we were still trying to tour the album that we were releasing at that point. And it was just getting a bit difficult, and my kids were sort of like 7 and 8, 6, 7 at the time, and I was working as well, and I just personally needed to take a break, and I think all the guys, we toured that much before we released the album to get our name out there, and then we were in a studio for 30 days constantly, sort of like all day, every day, to record the album, and then we toured constantly to promote the album.
As you've got to.
Yeah, so we'd been on the road for like 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, not just sort of like, well, we'll play Saturday. It was sort of you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we'd have, you know, and trying to manage work, family. Pretty much all of us had kids. It got a bit difficult, and then
it's priorities, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know,
Life.
people still ask us, don't they? You know, when you're gigging again, and this, that, the other, and people have done their own things. You know, I can't get rid of my brother, he's his family. You know what I mean?
You're stuck with him, I'm afraid.
But our bass player, we were literally just talking to him yesterday, and we'd probably get another guitarist in and maybe do something.
So do you just think you didn't sing and play your guitar?
I sang and played guitar, but didn't play lead. So I needed a lead. I couldn't sing and lead at the same time.
No. Not
in fact, I couldn't sing and play guitar at the same time. So. But yeah, so we'll probably do something. You can still buy it on iTunes. You still listen to it on iTunes and stuff like that. It's still being played on BBC Radio Cumbria, and we still get emails say it's been played and stuff and whatnot. But you know, we had to get to a point where, as much as the dream of becoming a Dave Grohl or a Kurt Cobain or a Chris Cornell, you know what I mean?
I think it's a different dream these days than it used to be.
Definitely, yeah.
just have like a taste of the big times, you know, sort of like when we went on tour across Europe, you know, we toured with a band called Fozzy. I don't know if you're... Yeah, so we played in front of like a few thousand a night, you know. Just
how did that come about?
It was, honestly, we were just booked to play a couple of shows in the UK, and we did them both, and they noticed how we worked, how we were good lads, you know, just that north,
professional.
Just professional.
Our booking agent got us on, like, I think they had 15 dates in the UK and 10 in Europe with a couple of days break. And
what year was this?
2011.
2011, yeah.
That's when they were really just starting to come into their own, then, probably.
Yeah, the album that we released at that point, he'd just come out of wrestling. I think he'd done his back in about a year previous. That. So they did an album, him and Rich Rich Ward, the guitarist.
I think that was when they made the decision to go properly full on with it.
Yeah.
He'd kind of been flicking back and forth.
Yeah.
So we got on first. We didn't play the first date that they came to the UK. We played the second and the third, and then we had a couple of days off. and then we were playing another couple in the UK. I think there's about 5 in
We
total.
were only booked for like a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was mainly there was different booking agents booking this last slot. So there was
Right.
Fozzy, Jet Black, and then a support band either
Yeah.
whatnot. So we got on, and then after the first show, something had happened with one of the support bands, and they just dickheads and broke the shower. And Chris,
They broke the shower. They're off the tour.
well, Chris is like he's quite energetic on stage,
Yeah.
and he's
He jumps
muscly
about.
guy, and he sweats
He
like
does.
a bitch.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's like he comes off absolutely drenched, and they were on a tour bus, and we were just in a van and a car, and we were just staying in a hotel to go to the next gig and then going home.
Yeah.
And he just said their tour manager just said, "Oh, are you staying in a hotel?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Where is it?" I says, "Oh, it's just down the road." He says, "Oh, would you mind if Chris had a shower? Because fucking they've brought the shower." And I went, no, if they want. And we had 2 rooms, didn't we? So I was like, "Oh, well, I'll drive him down if you want, because we're only down the road."
So
and
driving
he was
towards
like,
the travel lodge on the back seat, like
yeah.
Jericho, my brother. Like, surely,
So,
that's when you needed that selfie phone.
Yeah. Coming handy then.
so I'm just like, I'm in the car. It's like he jumps in after like the last song because it's their gigs are full of rock fans. Then
Wrestling
real dead
fans.
hard
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
fans,
yeah.
and he was more about the music
Yeah,
because
he
he was
always has
doing
been,
it
I
at the time.
think,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he jumped in the car and we're going off, and I'm like, "All right, how's it going?" He's like, "Yeah, cool." So he's literally goes in the shower. I'm just like sat there, put the telly on and that, and this, that, and the other. And he's obviously used to walking around locker rooms naked
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Just walks out, no towel on. I'm like, "There you go, dude." He's the UK kid. Took him back and then played the second show. Cardiff, was it?
Southampton.
Southampton. And just had a dead good laugh with him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then when we went home for a couple of days off and they carried on the tour, they just phoned our booking agent and said we want us on the rest of the tour, including Europe, and they can jump on the bus if they want for Europe if
That's
they haven't
cool.
got transport.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we like them, and all we ask is they just give us a bit, they help the just umping their own gear and stuff, you know.
Load
We don't
in,
want
load out.
yeah. And it was just like, yeah, cool. So we just got off work and jumped on and had an amazing experience.
What was sort of the venues you were playing in the UK,
What sort, size-wise?
or anyone that we would have heard of?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like
we
the
were playing,
O2 Academy types. venues,
sort of
or-
size venues, yeah. Wolverhampton, Civic Hall or something.
Oh yeah.
Fibbers,
Fibbers
York.
in
Fibbers, yeah.
York, yeah. White Rabbit in Plymouth, is it?
Right.
Yeah. I think we did Glasgow as well.
ABC.
University in Cardiff.
Yeah,
ABC
I'm not
ABC
too
Glasgow?
sure the one in Glasgow. I'm not too sure. The Cardiff Uni one, because we met Steve-O from Jackass that night. Because he was doing like a comedy stand-up night.
Oh yeah, he just started his
in the other-
stand-up then. Yeah.
But he knew Chris Jericho. So
Of course.
So
Why would he
so
not?
Yeah, top mates.
So-
Oh, Chris, you're in town. Nice one.
let's hook up, man. So we helped. We met Steve from Jackass. He didn't know how to use his chip and pin cards. It's new to him. All this European
It's
stuff.
new to him all this life.
Honestly, mate. So he texts me to the cash point. He's like, "Yeah, 742 I'm like, "No, you don't shout out your pin number, mate." He had really good teeth as well. I must admit. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
one of the first thing he did after
Honestly,
that
mate,
Jackass has got his teeth fixed.
I had to compliment it, like. And then half an hour later, we were talking like Bullet for My Valentine, who literally watched our sound check and was like, "Yeah, man, I love that Pull Out Your Knife song," and like the bass player was there and he was like about 3 foot high, and I was like, "That's why the bass looks massive on stage to you." But it was just
brilliant.
like say, Matt, just to have a bit of a taste of the big time was absolutely
So
awesome.
was it any different when you went to Europe? Different size venues? Because obviously
Yes.
popularity can vary. Like
Yes.
a lot of bands do 5 to 8 UK shows, and they go in Europe and do like 30,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for that. Because
Yeah, well, we played
Yeah.
in Denmark, so probably the biggest venue that we played at, and there was probably only about 50 people there. Whereas we played in Berlin to a smaller venue, and there was about 1,500 people crammed into this
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
underground place. It was a little bit weird. We were just
it's very territorial.
where
where certain bands click, or where they catch on, where they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Our first gig in Europe was Cologne, And it was a dead sort of like underground, looked a little bit like the Beatles' place in Liverpool.
Cavern.
The
Oh,
Cavern.
Cavern. Yeah.
Very much sort of like that. And we were first on, and we cracked up, and they were just sort of like looking at us like this, and I'm thinking, you know, I've never been to Germany before. Is this all this war stuff still hanging about? You know, do they not like the English? You know what I mean? I didn't really know what to do, and we just cracked into a song, and they just kind of like, you know, weren't really sort of like interested. And then as soon as they sort of like introduced us and they found out we were English, they just went mental.
They did.
Yeah.
Bought all our merch, CDs, T-shirts.
Yeah, we found that as well.
And
Like,
it was just
they're
like
fascinated with
English.
English things.
Absolutely. And it was like, and then afterwards they were like, oh, we love English bands. And I was like, oh, do you feel guilty? Is it because you like us? And it was like, you know what I mean? It was just, from then on, we would, like an unknown band, we were going to the next show, which was in Holland.
Yeah.
And like, 100 to 200 people from Cologne had gone to Holland and were like wanting to like grab us from outside, and you know, and it was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, do you know what I mean? And then it was just, and then it ended up in Berlin was the second to last one. Paul DeLeo, the bass player for Fozzy, is Nina's. Do you know 99 and Red Balloons?
Oh yeah.
She's like massive,
Oh,
like
yeah,
across
yeah.
it, and I mean like she's like stadium.
Yeah.
And it was Paul's birthday, and she came to Berlin, and they were all cornered off in this thing. So like we'd come out after having a shower and whatnot, and it's like, oh, Paul's having a birthday bash at the back of this place, and it's like, all right, cool. So like we're going out, and there's all these like screaming fans and that, and they're all like, and they're all shouting stuff, and I'm going, yeah, bruv. We're in this, yeah, you know, like, we're all after us at that, and I'm thinking, yeah, all right, I'll go, yeah. And then we realised it was for Nina, not for us like that. So, but yeah, it was
Paul DeLeo, left-handed bass player,
Yeah.
plays them upside down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Europe's a totally different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
one time when we played in Holland was with Absolver, and it was probably like 200 people there, but
I've heard of that band.
Absolver,
Yeah.
good buddies of ours. But so it was a really small place. It was packed. Like there was just no room to move at all.
Yeah.
And I could see people outside, like you just couldn't get in, but they were just hanging about.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, like we did really well. We were selling loads of merch, but like, there was people coming in going, "Oh, well, we couldn't get in, but we could hear you from the outside. Can we buy your album? We bought all our merch just for listening to us outside."
Quality.
It was like a lot of people as well.
Nice.
we struggled to have a big fan base where we were from.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah,
we could go to Glasgow. We could go and do 5 dates in Scotland, and we were like, we'd built up sort of like a following around that sort of like area, and we were playing like a place that held 100 people, and then next minute we're playing like the Academy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't mean the next minute. I mean after sort of like 5 or 6 gigs.
Yeah.
Whereas we'd go back home to Barrow, and we were like struggling to sort of like get 25 people in of our friends. It was
we
absolutely,
found the same.
absolutely
Unless you've gone round about 5 or 6 times, you
Yeah.
get near that. But over there, depends who you're playing with or where you're playing.
Yeah.
It's just, I think I've said it before. It's like a different mentality. It's a bit over there. It's a bit more like it used to be here.
Yeah.
Where people like to go out on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
That's what
see
I said.
Not
yeah.
necessarily see the biggest bands in the biggest venues. They just like to go and see live music. They're not that bothered. And if it's from England, brilliant.
Yeah. They love you before you
It's
strike
still,
up.
Yeah, it's still part of their routine to go to their smaller venues and just pay a £5 and watch 5 bands.
Yeah.
You know, like whereas over here, you have to sort of twist people's arm to.
Please come.
Yeah.
Please come.
But it's like you can play in front of 1,500 people and it can be absolutely packed. You can come out for a fag later on and you look down the street and there's a similar sort of venue and another 1,000 to 2,000 people are there as well.
Yeah.
There's so much of a demand for it. It's a shame that it's sort of died down.
Especially UK.
Well,
Yeah.
over here there's a lot more
here.
people who don't go to those sort of shows anymore and only come out for the big bands at big venues and spend £100 on a ticket.
Yeah.
But don't realise the value of like spending a £5 to go and see 5 bands.
Yeah.
Like I think they've got a low opinion of like independent bands, upcoming bands, because they just go to see the big bands.
Yeah.
Whereas all the bands that they like were like that at one point.
Yeah.
But they kind of lost that connection. Whereas in Europe,
Yeah.
it's still
Totally different.
it's still the same. But I didn't know any of that about you guys. That's really cool.
Yeah, nice.
and now you do this.
I know.
But it's all about the passion, isn't it? It's all
Of course
about
it is.
like I think your customers will just it comes out, doesn't it? You
we
just
vibe off each other.
We were born, you know, our parents were well into all different types of music, and we just loved it. We weren't ever sort of like told what to do when we were kids. If we were naughty, we were told off.
Pretty
but
much left to your own devices.
we were
kind of
left
thing.
to grow up
Yeah.
and develop as people as we wanted to be. You know, and if we were sort of like coming out of line, they'd drag us back in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to. I went and did a degree in music and drumming. I was a drummer.
Yeah.
So how that came about was like I was doing A levels and I was wanted to do maths, physics, and English literature and all that sort of stuff. And a new course came in Sheffield called Popular Music Studies. And because I'd never read a note in my life and I was just a drummer and my dad paid for drum lessons, I went for an audition and just pretended to read some notes and played it and they let me in.
Blacked it.
Yeah, again. It's kind of like the moral of my story. I was blang it all and then Dave just followed, you know. So when we were creating a band, we were in
you're like, well, we can't both play the drums.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find this out. Fight!
He won.
Yeah.
So he was in a band, I was in a band, you know, and then I was always sort of like little picking up guitars and stuff like
So
that.
always writing his own little sort of like riffs and
Songs
and little
stuff
like
that.
poems and little sort of like lyrics and bits and bombs, because he's like 7 years older than me. He was always like ahead of me, sort of musically. So when he was sort of like playing drums in his teenage years, I was only like sort of like 7, 8 year old.
Yeah.
I want to play drums. I want to play guitar. You know, and I already
Shut
know.
up, get back in your room.
I already know Pink Floyd. I already know all this. You know,
Yeah.
I wanna, you know, sort of go down that way. But I was a bit young, so Daniel obviously went off and did his own thing. So I've obviously been at home and done my own thing. And when he come back from university, we just sort of like wanted to get something together. And you know, I can only play drums. I can't really do much else.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Dan, because he went to uni, you know, he can do a bit of everything. You know, he can.
A bit of the theory side of it as well.
Yeah.
I kind of blagged that as well. to pass me first, to get onto the second year, I had to be grade 8 piano, right? And my mum and dad paid an absolute fortune for me to have private piano lessons 3 times a week. And at the end of the first year, I had to go and do a Royal Academy of Music, 3 people, and I had to play 2 songs from the grade 8 book. And my piano teacher recognised very, very quickly that it was never going to happen. In about 7 months, I've got short, little, fat hands, right? So what she did is she paired me up with somebody that played piano in my halls of residence that she knew from somewhere. And she literally showed me the 5 pieces and learnt me the 5 pieces without reading the music, just by ear.
That's probably the best way to do it.
So when they said turn to page 21 and play that, I knew what it was and I knew how to play it without even looking at any of the notes. But the key was I had to keep looking up.
Pretending that you were
that I was reading it. Yeah? So I literally scraped a pass, right? And I scraped the pass and I was like, get in, I'm on the second year. And I didn't have to touch a piano again, to be fair. But I could probably have a little tinkle now, but it was like she kept saying, I need pencil sharpener to shorten your fingers because you can't get up. You never play piano. So I kind of blagged that as well, to be fair. So.
Wasn't like Whiplash, was it? And like that, the drumming film where the jazz drummer.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we get whipped and you're bleeding. And
I was very quick being a drummer from an early age and learning. You know, I was sort of like 12 years old playing with 25-year-old blokes in pubs playing sort of like AC/DC. I made, you know, playing covers and stuff like that. So I'd learned how to remember songs, and that's where that sort of art came into. Right, these 4 bars sound like this, and I go, oh, okay. And then these 4 bars sound like this, and then she teach me how to play it, and then literally for 2 months it was just like playing each song, playing each song, playing each song.
Muscle memory,
and then so when I went in, I played the 2 songs, and
you got to make it look like you're reading it. So every now and again, just look at the screen, you know, look at the book and that.
That's brilliant. So that teacher is like teachers blagging.
But my parents have said to him, look, you know, piano has to be the second instrument. He's a drummer. He's never drummer.
Did your parents know all this then?
Yeah. So, have you ever looked at drum music?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no value.
It's not. You can't.
There's
the
no
two are
note
completely
value.
different. Aren't they? There's no connection.
So it's percussion and every other instrument. Yeah, it's like
notes.
percussion and every other
Yeah,
instrument.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It's completely different, isn't it?
so for me, I'd done a bit of drum stuff and books and whatnot, and when I was younger and stuff like that. But then to translate that into actual music and the theory
Yeah,
of
yeah,
music,
yeah.
it was like I just there's no way I'd have done it. I'd have just failed completely
Yeah.
if it was just left on my own devices.
Yeah.
So the only way for me to do it was to get private tuition outside of the university and pass this grade 8 piano. And
That is awesome. So as we wrap it up here, what is your biggest challenge doing the record store then at the moment since you've started? Do you think?
Biggest challenge, I think, is probably to get in everything what people are wanting.
And to like sort of
I
try and
would
second guess
second
everyone.
Yeah, because
You
one
can't- you can't-
distributor has over 29,000 titles. It
Shit,
takes us
yeah.
6 hours to get to C. We're absolutely dying of a night time, aren't we, bro? It's like, and then we've got another 9 distribution. Ordering is a full-time job alone.
Yeah.
There's that much to choose from. We've got to be sort of vigilant with stuff, and
Yeah.
the stuff that we thought, like Dan said earlier, the stuff we thought would sell. It takes longer, Baby Metal. I had a bet with him; it wouldn't sell. It sold in 2 weeks on limited edition white vinyl. It's
What have you
absolutely,
got that shit for? I'm like, Dave, that'll go. That I'm telling you right now.
it's just trying to get what people want. What we think people might want. They might not want.
Yeah.
But we're like, but what
You'll
we're
get
doing
better
is,
as it
and
goes
we are.
on,
We're
yeah.
talking to all the customers, mate. We're talking.
That's
to all,
probably just as important as anything else, I think.
Yeah, and we're having enough of each sort of genre as well. It's like the jazz guys coming, they only want jazz. We've got to point them in the right sort of area for jazz,
You've got to sort of brush up on your sort of knowledge of a bit
Oh,
of
of
everything, haven't you?
Mate,
We
yeah.
thought we knew pretty much everything there was to know about music
You're
genres
always
and who's in it and whatnot. And like I say, 29,000 titles, yeah. And I was looking through and I'm like, I know 3. Honestly, the punk distributor, yeah. I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. And I'm like, I thought I was pretty in depth with it. Do you know what I mean? And the question that you asked was, what's our biggest challenge? And it's to get something in for everybody.
Yeah. And get the
That's
right thing
yeah.
in for everybody.
And I can guarantee, out of the 35,000 records that we've got in
One.
our shop, yeah, somebody every single
Yeah.
day will say, "Have you got this in?"
Yeah,
And we'll go, "No, we haven't."
every day.
And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But I'll get it in for you if you want. What do you want? I'll give me a couple of days. I'll sort it out. Oh yeah, this, that, the other. And it's like, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've
Yeah.
got all these things,
Yeah.
and they want something that we haven't got.
But it's great.
It's difficult. It's
It
really
is great.
hard.
Yeah.
I think it's great because
Keeps you on your toes.
You're constantly keeping on your toes. You're adapting. You can be more flexible with people. People coming in and looking through the metal section, and they're asking for like doom metal, like metalcore. Like really hard
And
stuff.
you're thinking, I couldn't even name one band in that
And
genre.
honestly, you've got to get a bit of it all in,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a lot of people come in and going, oh my god, you can't get that in here. You can't get that sound going on.
But you also can't second guess it too much. You only want to get stuff in if you've been asked for it.
Yeah, we
Yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, as much as we love it, it's still a business that has to run.
Yeah, end of the day,
So,
you've got to treat it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't spend £100,000 on records that no one's going to buy.
No.
So we're learning every day. We're learning every minute. It's
Keeping your data on your sales and your
Yeah,
Yeah.
what sells, what doesn't
definitely.
sell, that's,
You know,
that's key as well.
we know every week. We can buy 10 Stone Roses of the same album. They'll be gone by next week.
Yeah.
It's like we've got to keep it current as well. So we've got to keep
it's a
our
balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got to keep our finger on the pulse. We've got to make sure that we know what's new, what's coming out. We have to rely on our distributors to be able to get them in as well for them to provide them to us.
Yeah.
We have to trust them to be able to do it. I think the way that the shop looks and feels now will be completely different in 12 months' time. I think us learning, it'll grow or it'll change or
You'll have ideas.
Every
Yeah.
week it's changing.
Yeah, it's it's
evolving.
we played with Sleaford Mods. Well, before there were Sleaford Mods, we were playing a gig in Nottingham, and the guy came up to us and he said, "Oh, there's a guy local, Can he support you for 20 minutes? He doesn't need any instruments. He just needs to plug into the desk. We were like, yeah, if you want. Guy went on. Do you know Sleaford Mods at all?
No.
He's like a poet, but he talks. He's from Nottingham. There's 2 of them now, and he talks about being on the dole and a bit like the Streets, but better.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But with a backing track with a bit more of it. Yeah. And you know, we knew who Sleaford Mods were because we'd obviously played with them. So when they said, "Oh, Sleaford Mods are out in a couple of weeks," we'd like a couple of copies, and I'm like, "Yeah, we'll get 10 copies in, whatnot." You know, or they're on the indie special purple vinyl. I was like, "Oh, we're getting 10 copies of Sleaford Mods." Oh, well, they won't go. And I'm like, "Oh, right. Well, they're coming anyway for release day. Fucking 10 copies better in a day." And it was like, you can't second guess it at all.
No,
it's like Brian Jonestown Massacre, an album that came out on Friday just gone. We've got old Brian Jonestown Massacre that have been there for 2-3 weeks that haven't gone. And it's like, yeah, this is coming out Friday. Do you want any? Oh, yeah, well, we've still got a few of the old ones, so, you know, just send us 5. Yeah, no worries. 5 coming. Gone in like 10 minutes. And it's like, we could have ordered 20. You'd have probably got, but, you know, that's probably our
You'll get better at that.
Yeah, hopefully.
It just comes with experience, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So do you think you'll hire any staff outside of the family, like maybe someone who, or people who specialise in different genres who know more?
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, we've been approached by a lot of people since we've opened. I must have over 30 CVs.
But like for you to be able to take some, like once you've mastered it and you've got it fully in control, take time off.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Obviously, you've got at the beginning.
It's hard at the beginning, isn't it? Because you
feel like you should be there all the time.
Yeah,
don't you?
and you're still learning, and like the day-to-day jobs, it can change every day. You know, I wouldn't like to take someone on now and say, "Oh yeah, these are your jobs. You know, this is your sort of job description."
You at least want to do a full 12 months as you are, and then maybe reassess it then.
12 months of no day off there.
Yeah.
But honestly, Mark, I had a day off in 3 months, mate, but I have not worked a day in 3 months.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
Because you're doing
I
something
love
you
it. I love it, mate. I love it. I bounce out of bed in the morning.
think
I'm not
that's
home until 10 o'clock.
That's a very rare situation for most people to be in.
He's living the dream.
Yeah.
I am, honestly.
And you've helped him do it.
Yeah, he has.
I said to Dave probably a month in, if I hadn't have done what I did for me to go into business, sort of like 18 months ago, my dream would be to do what he's doing now.
Yeah, but you're already sort of down that path. But it's good that you can still be part of it.
Yeah. So
spending more time at my shop.
I was going to ask.
You can dance around and
But
talk.
I'm not going to show any of my staff, any of the managers, any of them.
But you're able to do that though.
Yeah. So I've got managers in all my sites. So
But yours is more sort of people in roles. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. I have managers in my site, so I manage my manager. I manage one person per site.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a little bit more sort of like hands-on. We went to a radio interview a couple of weeks ago. In the morning, it was like
I think I remember. I looked it up. I saw
Can
that.
Do FM, I think it was, and it was about half an hour interview between sort of like some songs and whatnot, and we left our dad in charge of the shop. And
Right.
we were sort of like, because my dad's very laid back, and we mean like he's nearly lying on the floor laid back. So I could just imagine him saying, can I have that 1963 Batman and Robin record
For a fiver.
Give us 50. It's 50p. It's right. Looks a bit tight on the corner sort of thing.
Did you underestimate your dad?
Yeah, to be fair, because we like to talk to people and say, well, if you take, something else, or we'll try to give a bit of discount when you can. And he's just like, no, it's £22. It says £22. You're paying £22, son. Do you know what I mean? So we were like, oh, nice one. Yeah. It's like, how much is this? What does it say on it? It's 30 quid then, isn't it? It's like, you know what I mean? Have you got any Beatles? Well, look in the Beatles section. It's over there. So, but I think we are going to have to employ but specific roles. So I think.
Well, no one can know everything about everything, can they?
No. But I think if we look at like the online business, I think somebody sat in maybe one of our rooms, organising sort of like the social media, taking online orders.
It's a big part of it. You've got to do it right.
Do like auctions, weekly auctions, because
that's true.
We've got records, Mark, that are like 30 of them made in the world. You're going online, there's one available, 150 quid in Canada. £100 bloody delivery or whatever tax, and it's like, wait a minute, Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, I've got one here. It's like the world need to know about it.
Yeah.
You know, Batman and Robin, you know. I know we keep going back to that, but,
No, but
there's loads like Trapped Under Ice, you know, really hard stuff, you know, metal stuff. And, you know, got old Elvis there, £155 record of Elvis. And, you know, sometimes, you don't get me wrong, the people in the local area will spend money on what they're passionate about. And they'll like David Bowie's, your £100 records, you know, 50 quid Queen, you know, first pressings, whatever. But I think there's people out there that just need to know what we've got. So we have got the website. We haven't got it up and running just yet. It's under construction. We've bought it.
What will the address be?
It's tntrecords.co.uk.
Right. When are you hoping to have that up?
Hopefully in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
We've got a company that we've sort of like we've started giving the concept of
What do you want your website
ideas.
to do?
We want it to basically list have like an archive of our current stock.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's constantly
Needs to be updated.
Updated every sort of couple of days, and
So that's a job in
full-time
itself. That's a
job.
job in
It
itself,
is,
isn't it?
mate. It is,
Your
mate,
archive is
yeah.
kind of like one of your key things.
Yeah,
I can come in at 12 o'clock after doing something in the morning, and he'll be putting the new stock out and talking to customers and doing whatever, and I'll go, there's like 20 people that have like messaged you on Facebook about something. And he's like, oh, God. Do you know what I mean?
You haven't
And
had time.
I had time to do
I'm
it.
taking orders at 12:30 at night. You know,
Yeah.
What time you open tomorrow? It's like, do you know what I mean? It's blown up, and this is why we say that how it was planned isn't how it's actually fruitioned, because how we planned was like a nice little 12-month steady increase to build it. But it literally happened overnight. It was like we opened the doors, we had a vision of what it looked like. The day after, it looked like something completely different.
Because you've reopened something that people used to have that is gone.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you've brought it back, so they've kind of flocked to it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
And like you said, the nearest one's an hour away.
About an hour and a half to see
Yeah.
Preston, and you've got Kendall, which is a little one.
Yeah.
But you know, people buy from people that like, and we hope that people take our personalities and the way that we are, and sort of like just feed off it.
I don't think you get that kind of approach in many businesses, do you?
Yeah,
The
no,
sort of
really.
personal approach, especially not if it's anything to do with a chain or anything mainstream.
Yeah.
It's just people just doing a job in it.
The reviews we've had on Facebook from customers have been
I saw some of them on your
overwhelming.
Facebook page. Just
Overwhelming.
glowing,
Yeah.
like, I can't believe that, like,
Yeah.
where's the shop been all my life, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So where can people find you if they're looking for you online?
Facebook, so
Yeah.
TNT
Yeah.
Records Barrow,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I said, the website should be up at some point. We might get it up and running just as an information portal to start off with, and then look into sort of like
It'll link to all your social media and that
yeah,
as well.
But like I say, it is difficult because, like I say, we could put, you know, the Brian Jones Sound Massacre's new album's coming out on Friday. Make sure you come down, or you know, pre-order now, and then we can put them out for sale, and they're gone. And, you know, you can't manage that because then we've got to take it off sale. We've got to put it somewhere. We've got to send it off. We've got to. It is difficult, and you know, we are face to face right now. We like being face to face.
Yeah. Well, if that's working, you don't need to push it too much, do you?
Yeah.
No, and I
I
think
think more of the rarities maybe online,
Yeah.
you know, more of
Yeah,
the collectible items, you know, hard to get hold of. People in different corners of the world sort of like...
Yeah, because
looking
collectors
for
will
them.
want to know.
Yeah.
That's the only way they're going to find out about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your run-of-the-mill stuff, you know, probably won't get. You know, we sell it week in, week out, day in, day out. You know, that probably won't get listed. Probably more just rarities, to be fair.
you asked earlier if we were going to open another shop. I think the next shop is online. That's definitely going to be. It's going to have to be something totally separate. It will be TNT Comms, but it's probably going to be totally something separate from me and him running on a daily basis. It'll be we employ somebody. There's the portal. This is the records. You do
like
it.
almost like a digital version of what you do.
Pretty much.
At the shop.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of upkeep. So International Record Store Day. When is that?
13th of April, Saturday.
Cool. So I recommend anyone in the northwest of the UK to go there. Or if you can't go to this one, go to a local record store.
Yeah, support your local record store.
Definitely. Oh, well, boys, thanks for joining us. It's
No
been
worries. Thanks very
a
much.
pleasure
Thank
to
you.
talk to you. This is going out tomorrow, so
Sweet.
we'll push it tomorrow. So
Awesome.
thanks. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Well,
Thank you.
cheers.
Cheers.